Pluto, Ashe. Okay, let's keep on, hold on. Neptune, Ashe. Okay. Sashet, Ashe. Enoch, Ashe. Hootie, Ashe. Ezekiel, Ashe. Anpu, Ashe. Hemmitt, Ashe. Aiwass, Ashe. We're going to get into him in a few minutes. And last but not least, Maya, we do this. Ashe. Okay. Last but not least, we'll give you the god. His name is Thunderdog, coming from the Indian reservation, also known as Thunderbird. Ashe. All right. Adani. Ashe. Jah. Ashe. Hold on. El Shadi. Ashe. I guess that's enough for right now. Ashe. Ashe. So, last but not least, we'll say God for Christianity. Ashe. Allah for Islam. Ashe. All right. Let's do this. Number one, we are not people on who we thought we were. When this beast took us home, he messed with the wrong people. But let's get into this. Number one, let's clear up one thing. Because the sisters asked me about that, and I said I would deal with that. Number one, in order for us to bring on the mothership, we must understand what we're fighting against. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told you that the white man was made from us by the Yakub theory. And, you know, we thought that was a pile of crap. Some believed and some didn't. And then you have the Diop theory, coming from Sheikh Anta Diop, that the white people mutated in the Ice Age, as well as the Charles Finch theory, that white people mutated in the Ice Age also, too. Those are theories. We now have the archaeological evidence of the beast in the tomb of Seti I, who is Ramesses II's father, and the temple of Seti I, where Ramesses built, I'm sorry, we got to do a little more. I just said to God, we got to do a little bit of ancestors. I'm sorry, I'm so hyped up until I want to give you this message, but we got to do this. We got to do it right. Understand? I'll call out some of my ancestors, and I'll point to you, and you call out some. My grandmother, Irene Shaw. Ashe. My father, Ollie Hemmitt Jr. Ashe. My grandfather, Ollie Hemmitt Sr. Ashe. My other grandfather, Raymond Shaw. Ashe. My aunt, Mabel D. Ford. Ashe. My uncle, Charles Davis. Ashe. My other aunt, Miss Vivian Henry. Ashe. I'll give you one more of my ancestors. I don't want to bore you with that anymore. Clara Taylor. Ashe. Ashe. Now, give me my answer. Ashe.
Mela Shepherd.
Ashe. 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 Now, like I was saying, in the tomb of Seti I, which is in the first Holy Land, Abydos, Kemet, or Abydos, Egypt, Seti I built a temple for, Ramesses II built a temple for his father at age 21. His father died, Seti I. He built a temple. In this particular temple, the priests were interested in giving the origins of race and explaining just exactly what races were. Get this gum out of my mouth. What races were. Now, who am I going to believe? Who is the author of education, intellectualism, spirituality on the earth plane? Is it the Africans or the ancient black man and black woman, not only in the Nile Valley, but this entire earth, because black people, we lived all over the earth, because before continental drift, this was all one landmass. So when we talk about the ancient priesthood, who had 360 degrees, who am I going to believe? Somebody with the white man's PhD to come up with a theory, or am I going to believe the people who had 360 degrees, which the beast has never been able to get to that particular point? Now, who am I going to believe? Am I going to believe the priest, or am I going to believe somebody because they figured they was intellectual enough to give some doggone theory? I'm going to believe the priest. Now, in the temple of Seti I that was put on the walls by the priests, you have 4 races of men. the Nezi, which was the blue-black South African and West African. The Hemu, which was a mulatto, but a mulatto in those days was not a white man or Semitic. A mulatto would look about like me, you see, up against a blue-black brother. Those were your Semitic types. Semite, that's the real origin of the Semitic type. The Hemu, they can go, even some of them had blue eyes and their hair in a bag and still had melanin. Explain this mute thing to you. The Hemu, the Ruti, which was your East African black, your Kemite or your Egyptian, and your Nile Valley in Ethiopian is the Ruti. Then you had a person called the Tamahu. Tama meaning created, and Hu meaning white, light, and bright. The Tamahu meaning the created white people. On the temple walls it says that the Nezi, which is your West African and South African, and your Ruti, who is your East African, are the most ancient of men. And it says that they both created the Tamahu. It's on the temple walls. Man with a fourth grade education told you that. You laughed at it, but this is on the temple walls in ancient Kemet. They created the Tamahu. Now, the prototype of Satan that you know of comes from the Nile Valley as Set Typhon. The first Satan, but there's two Set Typhons. Got to remember this. There's the first primordial god of all time, which is the blue-black god Sut. That means Sut, where your word smut comes from. And then there's the red-headed Egyptian Judas, which is a mutant that tore out his mother's side and is the vomit, is the second one, which is the prototype of the origin of Satan. Now, document. You can get the Tamahu story in, part of the Tamahu story in Sheikh Anta Diop's book, African Origins, Myth of Reality. Look it up based on Champolion's findings. When Champollion translated the Rosetta Stone and went into Kemet, after I think it's 1832 or something, 1832 or 1833, went to Kemet and wrote back to his older brother telling him what he had found, and he was disappointed on the savage person, savage people he had found his race to be on the temple walls. Those vast reliefs of Biblium El Manuk, look it up in the actual Sheikh Anta Diop's book. But also, Gerald Massey's work, Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, Volume 1, page 27, it goes into the actual breakdown of this that Sheikh Anta Diop, I married to the European, didn't want to deal with so much of the created thing. But Gerald Massey broke it on down and dealt with that. So that's a document. The next document is the Hieratic Papyrus of the British Museum that you will never feast your eyes on, but don't worry about it because I got a book coming out. I have a book that's out. I just sold out in the other cities called The Human Artificials. And in that book, because number one, let me tell you, I just got back from Harlem last night because I had a speech in Harlem and I had to come straight here. I had to rush from there and go and do the radio interview. And I'll be in Jackson, Tennessee next week, to Jacksonville, Florida. I was in Jackson, Tennessee last week for a whole month. That's where the Indian Mounds is, which I'm going to get into earlier on what some things that went on. And we made contact with the ships. So we got our own ships now. So we got the juice. So ain't no sense y'all buck dancing for the cracker no more. Why? They ain't taking nobody who compromised, they ain't taking nobody who buck danced, and they ain't taking nobody who's scared. Time to stand up. We'll get into that later on. Now, in the Hieratic Papyrus of the British Museum, translated in 1935 by Adam H. Gardner, that is not for the public to view, but which was printed in a series of works, some research works that went to major universities, never was printed to the public, but printed in research scholarly work that went to major universities, mainly white universities, in 1967, based on the papyrus coming out of Kemet that they had in Russia, the Louvre in Paris, and also the British Museum, and different museums throughout London and throughout Europe. In this compilement, in some works on Set Typhon, the god of confusion, they let the cat out of the bag, dealing with the Hieratic Papyrus of the British Museum on the findings that was translated by Adam H. Gardner on who is this particular Satan, or this Set Typhon, this particular devil. And the Heretic Proprietors were, number one, let's get into this. Number one, they were so gracious enough to send one of the books to ITC, the Interdenominational Seminary in Atlanta, which is the seminary for the preachers, the cornbread eaters, or whatever you want to call them in the whole 9 yards, or some of them. If you for liberation, then fine. But if you fooling the people and all, you know what I'm saying, singing Negro spirituals and just hollering all doggone day, and you know who you are too. But they was gracious enough to send a book to ITC in 1973, and from 1973 to 1992, they sat on the book for 11 years and didn't even know what they had. But they knew that white people, black people was waking up around 92. And so what they did is they came back in and the beast went and stole the book. I went and stole the book from the beast. And I have a book called The Human Artificials that I have the actual documents in it with the Heretic Proprietors of the British Museum that states, Seth Typhon, when we talk about this primordial Satan that the word Shaitan comes from in Samaria, and Satan comes from, we now know that it wouldn't be a surprise that we find the miserable barbarians or the miserable Asiatics in this corrupt passage. Now, they're not talking about the Asia, because Asia is a big place. They're talking about a particular part of Asia because there was no Europe at that time. It was a form of Asia, but they described that particular part of Europe where they said they lived in a miserable part of the world. The water supply is wretched. The mountains make it hard for communication, so they are always grumbling. They are murderous and quarrelsome and have a restless nature. These have a restless nature. It came to the point where they say whoever have it is the real Jew. Well, we know that these people got it, and who got it? Some black people got it. That already lets you know that the real people got it. Because the people that they took it from. Why could Miller go in and take it from? If he takes it from the particular Hebrews who came out of Egypt, or came that was in the particular Jerusalem or wherever, Israel at that time, he takes it, that means he was of the original bloodline. He just went and got it from his cousins. So those people that's there now, even the Semitic type, are not the original ones. Even with these Semitic Arabians, this white man thing ain't the original Arabian. Because they got 85% blue-black people that live in Arabia right now that we don't even see. Check? Now, they go in. Y'all all right? Everything going good? Yeah. Okay, I just want to know. I don't want to avoid it. He goes and he takes it back and remains there to this day. All right. They say, whoever has it cannot be defeated. Well, Ethiopia was the only country in Africa that was never defeated. The one around the Horn of Africa. Because one time Ethiopia was vast, greater, and it was encompassing Kemet. When we talk about the nation, the part that's broken down to that little part in the Horn of Africa was never defeated. Right? Okay, now it's getting funky. All right. They start going in and start courting him in 1985 and even in the 70s, trying to get this Ark of the Covenant. This particular Israelis. Now they never, like Dr. Ben said, they never claimed us as being no. They didn't want to give us no, call us the real Jews. But all of a sudden now they coming in and talking about we brothers. So they didn't want it. So by 1985 they start a famine, because they can do this. Get them on the uproar, get this whole thing, because they want it. Elders, some of them, said we want Ark of the Covenant. They said, well, you're going to have to die, because we'll have to die with it, because they ain't going to give it up. Then they start a war by the CIA intelligence agency. It's real simple how they do it. They start a war, and they say how to do this. If the leader of Africa is a brother that's standing up for his right, then the CIA funds the radical organization to overthrow him. That's right. That's right. The guerrillas. That's right. If the guerrillas are radical and want to get down the revolution, then he funds the leader to overthrow them. That's how it goes. That's called destabilization. Used to be a good book out, and I think it's still printed, but it's hard to get. Used to call Covert Action. And the World Report used to be a good book. A magazine, come out monthly. And that was destabilization. So they destabilized Ethiopia and started the war in 91. Started courting them again, talking about Operation Moses. they're going to pick up their brothers. Now, you know, they ain't interested in no black people. It's the real Jew and they ain't the real one. They want to keep that secret. Right?
Right.
They're keeping the Jesus thing a secret to this day. Now they even got Bible where they done took him out being hair of brass, of wool and this and stuff. Now they saying hair. I seen one that say blonde hair. Sure it did. Done changed it up. And some of they take it out completely. So now Operation Moses comes in, they're going to lift them up again. Couldn't get it. Okay, they kept on courting and kept on courting and kept on courting until this is what happened. Number one, there was a woman named Corbin. I got to get the book. I know it's Corbin. She's from Canada. You might be able to get the book faster. Talking about the Rastafarians and the Ark of the Covenant. And she said when the Rastafarians, when she said, hey, Mr. Lottie, that lineage or whatever, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, when they give that Ark of the Covenant up, that starts World War III. Okay? That starts World War III. All right. In January, I come in on TV. I come in on a Sunday night, came in the house, and my roommate said, they talking about something about the Ark of the Covenant. So you better turn it on. They got 15 imposter Jews sitting on the table rejoicing, say they got the Ark of the Covenant. I said, I know y'all gonna well that these doggone Negroes didn't change it over. But if you don't know who the enemy is, you see what I'm saying? You'll do all kinds of things. Convince them to say it needs to be back in Israel in these trying times. I say, well, that might not be true. Okay. You got it right, man? Oh, you got yours rolling?
Yes, it's rolling.
Okay. They say that they got it and it might not be authentic. I said, okay. I said, I got to find out. I said, I know they didn't give it up. So I called my spiritual sister. Melchizedek comes in through her. Or Aiwass comes in through her. And that's what happened. He takes her over. Takes her body over and talks to him. He came in right away and said, yeah, they got it. They got it about, he said that they turned it over to them about the last week in January. They said it was an unholy alliance. And they said, it's an unholy alliance. And I said, well, if we're going to start World War III, they said, you doggone right, it's going to start World War III. I said, well, what's going to happen? And they said, well, don't worry. They said that was just like giving them the nuclear bomb. He said, because they are not of the bloodline, and they are, it's an unholy alliance, because they tricked them into giving it to them. He said, because they're not of the bloodline, he said, what you know as the government of Israel and all of them, South Africa and America too, because all hooked up in that pocket. He said, all that thing, he said, what you know of that will be destroyed totally because of that Ark of the Covenant. As soon as they start tampering with it. He said, and they start coming, they was running tests on it that Monday. I said, well, man, shoot. I said, dang, man, come on, man, can we get that Ark in? I said, can we get it? He said, no, we're going to destroy that because that's a physical thing. What we want you to do is make a covenant among yourself, and the power of the covenant among yourself will be 3 times greater than the covenant in the Ark. I said, okay, that's cool. Okay. They said, but they're going to be destroyed. They said, because they let them trick them into doing it, they said that the doggone Ethiopian is going to have to pay a price too. But that's also telling you that anybody selling out at this time, when that Uncle Tom stuff, y'all through. Anybody in here an agent? I'm telling you straight up. When I'm telling you straight, if you agent, I'm telling you straight up. Because the Jews ain't coming from some spook god that you think is coming out of the sky. The extraterrestrial government is already here. So you're an agent, you best believe. I'll put it this way. I got some Jews. You see what I'm saying? So hey, you're an agent, don't be selling out. And we'll get into that in a few minutes. Now, let's go on. So now, it's going to be destroyed, and they're going to have to destroy that whole thing, and that's the deal on this particular Ark of the Covenant. And it's already started because they start having the Jews getting killed in New York on March the 1st, and that whole thing with the other people that start all this. And this 28th cycle starts World War III. The 28th cycle, when it ends up, World War III starts. That 28th cycle ends up April the 23rd, 1994, when Sirius B completes the orbit around Sirius A every 60 years, which is today. What time is going on, okay? Moving right along. You can't get any greater signs on what's going on in your streets. People be still looking for some signs. Because you following the Bible to the T, but you got the time dates off. You are right in the middle of the revelation right now. Okay? Now, the interplanetary brotherhood that we're talking about is called Knights of the Solar Cross, and a book that you need to get. I always tell people to get that book, Other Tongues of the Flesh by George Hunt Williamson, which is George Hunt Williamson, which came out in 1954, where he was saying America. Other Tongues of the Flesh, George Hunt Williamson, where it comes out in 1954, and he was talking about America being the most evil planet on earth. Also, and in the whole 9 yards. It says people on earth are afraid that suddenly, if other people from other worlds make themselves known to them, they will have to face a awful retribution for their horrible crime that's done against humanity, and the Creator's laws will not go unpunished. Now, they ain't talking about us. We know who they're talking about, and we know who he's talking about. We didn't do that kind of crimes against humanity. And if we did it in some other cycles, God knows we paid for it already now. So now we're talking about in this cycle, we know who they're talking about. It says that they are called the Great White Brotherhood, the Black Rod of Osiris, or the Knights of the Solar Cross. Now you got brothers and sisters, you got 7 planets around Sirius. Also, brother, I told you there was the Golden Dawn Tarot book. You can get that. There's a Golden Dawn ritual book, the complete rituals of the Golden Dawn, where they document that in there too, by Israel Regarding. Big thick book for $19, all the rituals in it. Now, it says 7 planets around Sirius. Now this is the key. If you know astronomy or astrology, you got a planet, or you got a star, and each star has a certain amount of planets around it. A star is a sun, right? Our sun is, our earth stands in relationship to the sun. Our earth is like this to a big old sun. But our sun falls into insignificance to a greater sun behind it. Just as the moon is the reflection of the sun, our sun is a reflection of a greater sun, which is Sirius, who is the Lord of Sirius in your Holy Quran as that star that's on that flag. Okay? Which is Sirius, which is a greater sun, the central sun to the universe. Now, if this is the central sun to the universe, and there are other life forms in the universe, just the black man and being the most superior. So when I heard that from Muhammad, I said, now you done gone fool now. Big old universe and we the most superior. Okay. Well then we look at this. If Sirius is the central sun to our universe, and you got other suns, and you have other life force, what do you think about the planets that's around the central sun and the life on it? That means that if this is the central sun and it's got planets and life around it, then those people don't have just a regular sun. They got the central sun. The sun behind the sun. That means they got to be superior, to be selected, to be on that. And guess who live on that planet? Brothers and sisters like you and I. Every God that you know of that came in your existence came from that. Okay? But there are other life forces. But one thing they have in common, they all have, the Knights of the Solar Cross have a highly developed pineal body or gland or third eye, which gives them astonishing telepathic abilities to examine everything by this eye instead of the normal vision, would only allow reason and logic instead of truth. That's why Don't take what I say and reason and logic with it. Go into it with the Spirit. And the Spirit says it ain't right, then throw it away. Because all these books and stuff, it's got to break down one way, but you're going to have to go inside with the Spirit. Take nothing that I come and bring you. You don't take nothing no person come and bring you without researching it, number one. But if the research breaks down, you got to know what sounds spiritually right to you. That's beyond religion. It's man-made. They say that's a religion, but we are the nature. Well, what is your nature? Well, go into the Spirit, which is your nature, which is the nature of God, and you cannot go wrong. You see, you got two angels on you. You got the good angel, and you got the bad angel. The good says do the right. And that's when you make a decision. They say you're always supposed to go with your first decision. Because that second one will lead you wrong. Because the one on there, so the first one tell you the first time, you know it's logical, you know the thing sound right, but you got the doggone intellectualize and go the wrong way. Always go with the first one. That's how you get out of this foolishness. But it says that the other ones, even the little green people they talk about, all of them have a highly functional pineal gland. Even those. But the one that is the actual king is man. And that man, we know the original prototype of that man is the black man and black woman. When I say man, I mean, we know the woman is superior, because when that fetus comes in, and when that baby first develops, until that with that last one or something, it's a female. And then that clitoris elongates and grows into a penis. Well, one brother say, brother, you're talking above yourself. Because I say, brother, name something in the universe that creates that's not feminine. He said, well, name something in the universe that creates that doesn't have the masculine. I say, the black woman. Come on. Because the black woman in Tibet and other places, your sperm is solar-phatic energy. That's what it is. The solar-phatic energy that's going into a liquid form to seed. But that same solar-phatic energy, the woman in Tibet and other places can hold her vagina up to the sun a certain way and can get pregnant by the sun and don't even need the man. Don't even need the man. So now, I humbly submit now. And that's some deep stuff. Now don't say, well, the messenger didn't say it, because you don't know all what the messenger said, because you wasn't ready for that. And you may never know, it's your word against mine, and you may never know until you get to that certain level, but this is actual fact, based on the Tibet and based on the women, because also, if you go back to the first primordial mama, she has no consort. She's by herself, and then she has this child. Same thing. So we know who the superior one is. You know what I'm saying? And the black woman being the most one too. She the one that can cuss you out in a few minutes and go, want something to eat? You got a masculine and a feminine principle. But when you study the mysteries of the goddess, you'll find out that the masculine principle is the aggressive half of the feminine principle. There's only the feminine principle, and there's only a female universe. That which is masculine is the aggressive part of the feminine in the mysteries of the goddess. This is the key, and y'all gotta bear witness to this, because when you get up there, you're gonna find that the stuff is feminine. You know, man is nothing but a child. Man is not man now unless man is half woman. Woman is not woman now unless woman is half man. What do they mean by that? They mean not a homosexual. What they mean is this. When they tell you, brother, you got to humble yourself. You didn't hear that, brother? You got to humble yourself. You're too arrogant. That's that male aggressiveness that we have learned from the beast to take on this nature. You got to humble yourself. What do they mean by that? Because the woman is humility. She's got to be humble. She's got to raise the child, and she's got to be there when the child messes up, and she don't get mad enough that she kill it. Mama love him anyway. So she's got the nature of the humility, and the nature of the woman is the true supreme nature of God. We're not talking about homosexuality. Now, when they say now woman is not woman, now this woman is half man, because some of us has become docile, they ain't talking about the black woman, period. she got to be totally crazy when she shut down and let the man do everything. The black woman. That ain't never happened to y'all and stuff. You know. Just as you good as giving love, you good as taking that behind too. You know what I'm talking about too. Black woman, you still the embodiment of God on this planet. Because the whole sexist movement was started from looking at you and studying you. So you don't have to get into the sexist movement. They're only trying to copy you what they understood because you are a matriarchal people up to this time.
That's right, brother.
You see, so that's what time it is when it comes to the scripture. Let's bear with. Okay. Now, going back to this piece, y'all all right? Okay.
All right.
So we're going to do some things, give you some more things. You can get my book, The Human Artificial, but we're going to have some up here, or you can get A.E. Powell's book, The Astrobody. Now, in the A.E. Powell's book, The Astrobody, they understood in the Theosophical Society that they were going to try to meet this deadline for 1914. What they had to do was find something about their true selves. C.W. Ledbetter, in a lecture to the Theosophical Society, gave the lecture and said, now this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to have to make improvements on who, what our real nature is. And we'll call astrocarps. See, Asia and carpus means dead. Caucasian means dead Asian. The astrocarp is a shade, is an entity which is not in any sense a real individual at all. Nevertheless, it bears its exact personal appearances, possesses its memory, and all its little idiosyncrasies. It may therefore be readily mistaken for him. It is not conscious of it. Now get this again. It says it bears his memory. They're talking about it bears your memory, because you're the real people. And all your little idiosyncrasies. It may be readily mistaken for you. Okay? But it's not you. It's born the temporary intelligence from you. Okay? You got that? It may therefore be readily mistaken for him. It is not conscious of any act of interpretation. As far as its intellect goes, it must necessarily suppose itself to be an individual. It is nothing really merely but a soulless bundle of all the lowest qualities. As far as its life goes, it varies according to the amount of lower material matter that emanates it. So all this material stuff you got around here is what sustains it. Once it goes into the fourth dimension, by it being 98% material, it can't survive anymore, because in order to survive on the planet, retakes its original form, you got to have something called a great work, which is melanin. Okay? Now the sun is producing the rays that's going to have you, so you can't even sleep this summer. But they're going to have to start working at night, and the kids going to have to start wearing coats because it's killing them off. Okay? All right. That emanates it. But it is readily fading out. It says leaving. Its intellect is diminishing. Though it may possess a certain deal of animal kindness, quite towards the end of its career, it is still able to borrow the temporary communication and able to communicate by borrowing the temporary intelligence from the medium, which is you. You got that? From its very nature, it is exceedingly liable to be swayed by all kinds of evil influences and being separated from the higher ego. The higher ego is melanin, the triple blackness of space, the dark night of the soul, which is dark, where you have to give up this old you and go into the new you, your higher self. It has nothing, it says, it has nothing in its constitution capable of responding to the good ones. Check. A.E. Powell's book, Astrobody. Okay, now, let's do a little more thing. Now let's go on to some things, and let's try to go into this particular UFO get down, okay? Now, let's see here. You know, boom. Okay. Now, okay. Here's the part I got. Now, the time is up. White boy started messing with time. He's messing with time now. He's doing things. But what he knows this one thing that's happening is this. This Empress Vertice, as well as the Sister Maya that I have gotten in touch with, and as well as this Thunderdog that we unleashed, said 1995 is all over. This is a thing that says the prophecies from the indigenous people from the South Pacific. The year 1994, total balance and harmony on the earth. The enlightened ones will be here. You are the enlightened ones. You're coming closer and closer into your higher self. You exist on two realms. The more and more you come into consciousness, the more and more you give up all this old niggerized stuff. Okay? 1995, a new dimensional fourth dimension, a new race of fourth dimensional humans will design a new reality. This is the spiritual compass. The star people will be acknowledged. The designs of the new human race will come from Sirius through lots of difficulties. That is you. And you are the spiritual congress. Because your people are out there dying in the streets, and you are up in here now listening to some stuff that you don't normally get. You see, you are those people, and now they're saying you got to take the responsibility to help your people and bring your people through. Okay? Now, one of the cycles that was going on was, they said April 8th, how you doing, sister? All right? Okay, all right. It said April 8th, 1994. And the sister right here, it's funny he said it because the sister was on the mound with me. And I'll tell you some things that went on since then too. Did you ever get in the school? Or you heard anybody from anybody? We're going to go into this right now. Well, she can bear witness the stuff that I'm getting ready to tell you, and I'll fill you in on the rest. She can bear witness because this sister here, known as Sister Maya, and she came down from Detroit, her and the other, anybody else with you, came down and drove down and to get a reading, and they partook on the mounds on this festivity that we had. And I'm going into that right now. They said April 8th is a time, they said, no, excuse me, a time, April 1994, when Sirius B and Sirius A do their 50 or 60 year hero scandals, which is the date. But what I didn't realize, there was some other time cycles that Melchizedek gave us. It said that does this 50-year hero scandals. Such close time in between the solar system, the Earth, Pluto, Neptune, and the Sirius star system occurs for once every 60 to every 90,000 years, giving some rarity to inkling, studying some inkling to a rarity of opportunity in the last 2 decades of the 20th century. Now, the last time this kind of power was on the earth was 90,000 years ago. That was back the time of Atlantis and going on into Lemuria. And that time we were gods. So that's the kind of juice on here now, and now you understand why your consciousness is changing. So I toyed with this for an entire year. I said, I got to find out, because one of the sisters said, but there's another date that they're not telling you that you got to get. And this sister was the psychic. She wrote with her hand. The other sister, Maya, they came through with her and said, the time is going to be April 8th, April 4th through the 8th, which we had to go to this mound in Mississippi, in Tennessee. We went there the first time and we did a ceremony. Me and this sister went and did this ceremony, and we saw this angelic host come out and raise up his hands like this, dressed all in white. The next week we brought the whole crew back, about 20 of us. She came down that Saturday after the crew went back. One brother said that the spirit told him, you got to stay, because something's going to happen on the 9th. On the night we went on this mound, and there was a vortex. Now what had happened was this. What was happening was there was a time door that was opening up in space. Okay? And this particular time door, and remind y'all I'm going through some time travel in a few minutes. This particular time door that was opening up in space, this particular cosmic juice was coming through. The last time it was on the planet was 90,000 years ago. So, on the 9th, it was at its fullest perfection, the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Even though it was April 4th through the 8th, April 8th, 9th, and 10th, it had the full current. One of the brothers on the mountain said, he said, tomorrow you're going to get what you came here for. But he had to go back to Atlanta, because it's like six hours from Atlanta, this place in Jackson, Tennessee. And it's this mound, it's the biggest mound, and mounds are actually pyramids that the actual people built, burial sites. They say Native Americans or native Westerners, but they say it can go all the way back to the actual blue-black people that used to live here. So they built these mounds. So now they got 12 of them there. Now we got on mound number 10. On the night, we found this vortex was a hole, and I took the book of law, which is the same book that was given to the white boys by Aiwass. But the 3rd chapter of the book is talking about Ra Heru Kahuti that will rise up in the last days, which the book of Revelation is talking about. They took the teachings of Jesus, the teachings of Ra Heru Kahuti that predate the historical Jesus, 10,000 years on paper, and another 600,000 years in the written word. The book of Revelation is talking about him. Armageddon is talking about Herumageddon, or Harmageddon is talking about the original Christ figure, which the 3rd chapter of this book is talking about. It will rise up in this day. So I took the book and put it in the vortex. You remember that? I put the red book in the vortex. You remember that? I put the book in the vortex. Now the next day we had a group of people, about 13 people. One of the brothers that was going back to Atlanta said he had to stay. He told his wife, they were getting ready to go. He said, I gotta stay. He said, I gotta stay. And he said, I don't. He said, I gotta go back tomorrow. She said, well, we gotta go back tomorrow. When we got on the mound, they were already out there. Okay. At this particular time, we went through this little ritual, and this particular angelic host was there the week before that we saw. We got 2 sisters now that can see. They psychics. And they correspond totally together. We sitting around there, and this particular person, Thunderdog, comes in. I think he came in on a white horse. When he came in, and they say his name is Thunderdog, he's an angelic spirit in the whole 9 yards. And they said, one of you know him, and one of you got some maps that he's going to give you, and this other brother that didn't even know, he took a bolt of lightning and hit him in the head. He said, and he opened up like the other 2 sisters, and now he's a psychic in a few seconds. Now, it gets even funky because they started corresponding verbatim to each other. The other sister said, what do you see? He said, his name is Thunderdog. Now, I come to find out later on that Thunderdog was the Native American counterpart, or the Native American part to the god Heru or Horus, which is the original Christ figure. He is the Native American counterpart that touched down as God and lived among the Native Americans. Because one sister said, I'm getting it as an ancestor spirit. One sister said, I'm getting it as a God. But he had came in human flesh, because the gods always come in human flesh. Now he came down, gave this brother some maps, put him in the back trunk of his car, and they had some, and I'm glad they did, because they told us some things we needed to do. Gave him these maps and put them in the trunk of his car. Said the ships is on them maps. Okay. And I found out something else this year. Now, they came to me and said, we appreciate all the good work you were doing in the whole 9 yards. We got to give you something. Something that I knew I had to go, and I knew what they were going to give me. And when he told me what it was, I said, thank you, because I already knew I was supposed to receive it. What they gave me was this. Put it around my chest. Now what we had to do was, let me get ahead of myself. There were souls, now this is the key, how you got to listen to how slavery is going on, and how you can't be buck dancing and selling out. Because your people that died for you in slavery, they just didn't die for you, they're still dead, and they're waiting for you to go and free their souls. I knew this because we understood that Gory Island, when Lenny Jeffries used to go back, and then people start falling out, and they would get these people, the souls would actually possess those women, and they would go through the torture that the women were going through on Gory Island. Gory Island is the island off the coast of Africa that they used to hold the slaves before they shipped them out across the Pacific. And the women can start going trance, and they can go there right there, and it happens every time. The reason why that's still happening because those souls didn't get proper burial when they died, and they're trapped in another dimension, and they're trapped in limbo, and their souls cannot put to rest until we come and free them. Okay? Now, what happened is the reason why you back because you got proper burial. Now, they said we got some, Thunderdog said, I got some people that's trapped up under this vortex, and you got to free them. And they said they're still trapping. So they said you got to say the word wado, wado, which means welcome. And then you got to say the word hina, which means thank you at a certain time. But they say you got to free them. They say so we started going wide door and we started grabbing them to pull them out. To pull them out of the vortex. Okay, we got them out, and there was one girl was watching the whole ceremony. They said one of her friends had been trapped up deep down in the vortex for so many years, and we had to pull her friend out. And as soon as we freed the friends, about 40-something Indians who had proper burial came. This was all in the spirit world. Two sisters going verbatim on what's going on in the other brother. They came out. Now, for the Nation of Islam that they told you about the spirit, it's the energy. You want to get that right. You understand what I'm saying? But the energy is spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Some things they had to tell you they are spirits, but they had to get you off the level of thinking on a spook level because you was caught in the Christian church and you thought everything was spooky. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason why they had to tell you that, but there is a spiritual world. Okay? But they had to get you to another level of thinking to let you believe in yourselves as God, which you would never have done believing in a spook. You understand what I'm saying? But there's the spirit world. So as we got them out there, there's 40-something Indians came around the circle. They came around the actual circle. They said that they were glad, they was rejoicing, they had this old Indian woman. Now these, mind you, the depiction of them, I don't think you got it. There was some real dark-skinned people. Them Indians you see on TV ain't the real. That stuff there and all, you know how that is. Them white actors, they real black people. So now, they were real happy that we pulled them out, and so they came up to me and they said, you've been doing a good work with the lecturing and the whole thing. Keep up the good work. So they took this particular medallion. It is the sun and the wings, and it looked like this. You've seen it on all the temple walls. The sun and the wings, which is the black dot, or it is the sun, and it is also the wings. They put this around my chest in the astral realm. It's there now. They gave the brother the map, and on top of the map, they showed the ships in the circle, and on top of the ships is this particular wing. On top of the ships. Okay, they put it around us. I didn't know it, but I wake up about a week later, and my girlfriend says, dang man, your back got a big old green, something green on your back, like a big old 45 record. I go in the thing and look real hard, and I say, it is. I called another sister from Jackson uptown, Makila, and said, I got some green on my back. She said, oh, I forgot to tell you. When they gave me that stuff, I was watching them that day. It burned a hole in your chest, and it had burned a hole in your chest and went all the way through, and now it's coming out the back. And this is in the spirit world. And she said, once that disappears, it's going to formulate some type of marking and some type of signal or some type of sign on your back, seal or some kind of mark. And all right. Okay, I said, cool. Now, we get back to Atlanta. This is the rest of the story. This brother is now psychic, and Thunderdog is coming to him. So Thunderdog said, y'all got to meet tonight at 7 o'clock. So he called everybody, they met tonight at 7 o'clock. There was another brother you didn't meet named Bobbyhemmitt, who is a Yoruba priest. He does Yoruba yoga and all this in Atlanta. Because he's an expert in yoga, he was nimble enough. The ships came that Monday night. That was on the 10th. No, that was on the 9th, the 10th. That was on the 11th. The ships came, and the mothership came, and he was able to go on board the mothership. When he got on the mothership, he saw the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the mothership. He saw him on the mothership. Now this is real. Now this is how stuff is going. You say, what does this got to do with Muslims? What does this got to do? I'm telling you straight up. I know some of y'all don't believe it, but I'm telling you straight up how real this stuff is. So he saw the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the mothership. Then he saw these black people, and I said, what did they look like? He said, when he saw them, he couldn't see their eyes. He just knew they were black people. And they were standing around in the corner. He would walk around a little bit. They wouldn't let him go but so far. And then he left. Now there was another sister, real beautiful, dark sister. She left her body and went on there and saw the Honorable Elijah Muhammad also on the mothership. And now they're saying that they say to start rejoicing because they said we're right in the middle of this, and they said that in 1995 this stuff is all over. Now the Empress Bernice had the same type The Empress Birdseed, which is the sister that owned all the land, had the same type of vision. She said, all I know is I got to get my people on the land by 1995. Remember, it says 1995, the spiritual Congress will be here, and the new people will design a new reality that will come to see. This stuff is beautiful. But you know, when you look at this stuff, and I've been talking this kind of stuff, we about to get out of this thing. These are things that people been waiting since 1865, Emancipation Proclamation. You know what I'm saying? All our people making we are right in the cutting edge of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is it. But like I said, we ain't gonna get it because we don't believe it until it come on that dog on TV. Some of y'all ain't gonna get it until the white man say, guess what? They ready to kill us on the TV set. Which will never come on the damn, which will never come on the TV set.
Right.
The revolution will not be televised. Right? Okay, now. If the Birdseed said, and they said they got to keep people on the land on 1995. She said, why? She said, well, all I know is they just told me there's a cosmic ray coming from Sirius, which Devil Blair bears witness to, that if you don't have melanin, it's going to kill you. She said she saw herself stepping over white people like this. That's right. And they're all over the ground dead. Okay? The other sister, the sister Maya, who was the other seer, said she saw the same thing. She said, well, can they be saved? Not talking they saved. She said, can America be saved? She said, it's too late. They said the grace period is over. Now, they told her the grace period was over in January. They said January. This 1994 was over. Then you know why the doggone Japanese was there hollering by it's over in 1994 when they were saying this in October 93. So she said that she had the same vision. She had the vision in 1985. Then in 1995, it was over. It was over. The Thunderdog told us that Monday, in 1995, this thing is over, which calculated with my stuff automatically too. First I said it was 1996, but now we got new calculations, and now it's 1995. Because 1994 is either the year 2004, or the year 2002, or the year 2000. It's somewhere in between that. But we know that it is the year 2000. We right in the middle of this. Because if you get his beef 25 years, you might well roll over and give yourself, call yourself dead now for what he got coming out. Because when he cut out this money, this summer, you're going to be swinging like a monkey anyway. And it's coming, you see. Now, said that 1995, this particular thing is it. Now we know by this summer, they're going to have to start working at night. One of the sisters, I think it was there, the sister Tamakila, her mother teaches school. And she said they've already, she teaches elementary, junior high school, and they've already started giving them signs to put up in the classroom, telling the little white kids that they don't have melanin and they got to stay out of the sun. You know, in Australia, they already got them now wearing coats. And in Europe, they can't even go outside and play until after 3 o'clock.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Until after 3 o'clock. That is because the sun, which used to filter out rays, is now putting rays in. Now, you won't be able to sleep for 3 or 4 days because that melanin be kicking in on you, and that's better, that's more powerful than any crack you've ever smoked. And old age 800 ain't got nothing on it. You're talking about the ultra high. So now you won't be able to sleep for a couple of days, but the white people are going to be dying. Now the first thing they did was, every time you go take a AIDS test, they're going to say that you got HIV. That's right. Period. Tell it about it. Tell it. Now, check this out. That's right. Last week, they already locked, because they always do it to the white people first. Last week, they locked up a white man in Atlanta and got him under quarantine for having AIDS. All them doggone white faggots walking around in Atlanta with AIDS. They locked one up. But that's not meant for him. They locked him, they do it white first, they fool you with the smoke screen, just like they put his smoke screen in the homosexual, which was meant for black people in the first place. And so now, they're going to start locking you up for the AIDS thing, and that's one of the first forms of the concentration camp in the King Alpha plan, because they got to get that melanin out of you, and they can't get it from this synthetic melatonin that they're selling in the vitamin stores now. Right. Because this synthetic stuff don't have memory, because you know they wrap up Ramesses' body, and 2,000 years later they go and take that memory cell out of his skin, and they can get his whole life history, and plus all the history he knew before him in that memory cell, in melanin. Because it's a cosmic memory bank. And it's not a sun tree. So they got to get the real deal, and so they say, well, we're going to die trying. That's what the Atlanta child murders was about.
That's right. That's right.
So now that's what the King Apple plan is about, is dealing active with FEMA. And so they're hoping that they're going to start quarantining you with the dope. No, excuse me, with the AIDS, and also when they get rid of this money, they know you're going to act a dog on food. You've been selling out your people for that book. So now, they got to do it, but the key to this whole thing is because they're starting to die, and this cosmic ray is coming through, and it's killing them. You see. But the thing about it is, the ships are already here. They're all outside. Now, there's two kinds of ascensions. Some of the people who raise the chakra centers in the Kundalini and the whole 9 yards, you go into outer space on an alternative planet called Sanchez. You know, Nick Hitler, I say I was going to go out of space. It's right here on Earth. That mothership is right here on Earth. Well, it is right here on Earth. That one is going to take people to the Crystal City in the subterranean world and up under the ground, where the most superior people live up under the ground now. That's why the white man tell you that hell is down there. The reason why he tell you that hell is down there, because he don't want you to know what's down there. Your people, where did the ancient Egyptians go? How can a whole race of people disappear off the face of the earth? You got the ancient Greeks still there. You got the Romans still there. You got the Ethiopian, all that. Where did they go? They went in the subterranean world. Because in 1985, I got the picture of it, they showed a passage in the doggone subterranean world to go from Memphis, Egypt to Memphis, Tennessee.
Right.
You see. And in there, when you get up under there, it's no different looking than this. They got a sun and everything, and a whole other civilization. But the reason why you can't, they said, well, why the white man never went there? You know, the white man, if there's a place, he'll get there now. Why he never went there? The reason why he never went there was because it's on another dimension. And even your thoughts can't even penetrate that spiritual plane. So he can't get in there. You see. But it's the superior people and the ancient Egyptians and all of them live in the underworld. That's the underworld of the dimension of Osiris. You see what I'm saying? Which is the heaven. As above, so below. As up on top used to be heaven, which is now not. As on the bottom, which is still heaven. That's where they retreated to. They got something called a white city of the central sun. They said it is in the inner planes. And in the inner planes, they said the white man, in John Stockwell's book, my 10 years in the CIA, my 25 years in the CIA, said when I was in Africa, all they wanted to do was try to search out these secret societies. He said that they couldn't get them, he said because it was underground. But what he didn't realize is the underground was a real literal underground in the inner planes, where the most superior people live. And they say they got a group of West Africans that's going to start influencing West Africans. But they're not talking about the West Africans on the continent. Because the Son of Man wasn't supposed to rise up. He's supposed to rise up here, in the West. So who are the West Africans in the West? You are. You see? Parts of you, because there's some of you who've been here before that. We want to get that straight. You see? But some of you came on the slave trade. Not all of you. This is new history is coming. But they start influencing you by your thoughts. So now you are being influenced by your thoughts. And you have a higher self that you got to get in touch with. So some of you going this way and some of you going that way. They say the mothership that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad talks about, and he did say it in theology time, there's more than one mothership. His was half a mile by half a mile. They got one mothership that's 3 miles long. That means if it pulls up over here, you can't see 3 miles with the naked eye. That means the whole sky will be dark. And they can go 35,000 miles per hour cruising. You see, that's slowing down, taking a chill pill. That's going from New York to LA in 5 minutes. Cruising. Now, and you small planes that go on top of that. That's what happened to that first telescope that they put up in space. They say a mothership came and took it. And they keep breaking this other Hubble telescope. You see. Now we ain't got no money at all. But yet they're going to put up $1 billion telescope just to take some pictures of some stars. Y'all get real. You know what time it is. You see. And now they got laws on the book that they can lock you up for contacting aliens. Why you say that when you say there ain't none out there? But this is the kind of stuff that's going to, there's a whole other crystal city that's up under the earth. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that theirs was built by the Chinese, the Japanese, in what, the 1930s? 20s. Okay. worked ancient Egypt, light of the world, that the Japanese got them here, that they got an island off the coast of Japan that they say they know is there to this day, but they don't know where it is. Can't find it. And on that island, the Japanese, we now know are black people because the first original Japanese were black people. Remember, half the blood in your veins must run black to be a samurai warrior? And you know if you go anywhere in Asia, you can find them black people still over there. You see. Now, they say it still exists, and that's where it was built, but it was on another dimension, the reason why they couldn't see it. So the mothership is here, but it's on another dimension, because it can dematerialize and materialize. But let me tell you, the stuff is going down with these crackers. You know the people that's in, rolling people, they got 4 bodies in them, roll in the operating room, and the gas came out, and the doctor fainted, and everybody fainted. What happens is this. Because the European does not have a genetic code that is a blueprint to some other place outside of the Earth, that link them to some of them planetary star systems, because they are mutant. They are free territory and experimentation to the universe. They got free run on them. They say you just can't mess with the black people. And every time black people have an abduction, which is very few. How is it every white person got an abduction? When the last time you saw somebody being abducted? I might have 1 or 2, I might be every 4 or 5 months to say that. And they say what happened? They say, well, they tried to heal me. And they tried to get me straight to heal me or give me some messages. But we talking about abduction. Why is it now? Everybody. We all the same. Well, why is the sun killing the people? Is everybody ain't killing you? Now, common sense will tell you, I make a planet. I put a sun on the planet that is the vital force for everything on that planet. But something on the planet the sun gonna kill. Melanoma. And they say 2 things get melanoma. The white man and the pig. Both of them are unnatural. And that's why he needed the pig for his medicine. Because the medicine comes at your most important meal of the day, which is breakfast. And that's 98% poor. You see what I'm saying? And his society is 98% poor. Even in the sugar, I heard. Now, they're going to put him on there, and his son going to kill him. That lets you know right there he's unnatural. And don't let nobody fool you with that bull jive. He's unnatural or mutant. Now, if any of y'all in here is crying because you got white parents, don't be crying. Look, when the white man said 1 drop of black blood, he knew what he was talking about. That's all over. Eat that up right there. Now, the reason why they are doing it because they got free territory on them that they can do what they want to do with them. They say you can come in and you can do anything, just don't mess with the gods of the universe. So when they come in, they be trying to help you, just be scared and stuff. They be trying to help you. Say, just don't mess with the gods of the universe. So they got free reign on, and gods could be the darker haired people. Because, you know, you got the mutant they talking about. The other people are offspring of us. But you got that mutant that don't have this soul, they say. You can do what you want to do with them. But the other people, the gods, that's prohibited by interplanetary law. They get in trouble with that. So now, since Aleister Crowley died, because he failed to get them the melanin in them, and he died in 1947, you started having heavy UFO things in 1947, and then in 1950, with Eisenhower met the aliens on the Air Force Base and the whole 9 yards. But the reason why is because now they got this whole experimentation thing, and they got a free reign they can mess with these people. So all they tell you about these awful Orions and stuff, don't fall for the hype. They good friends of us because they ain't killing us. They killing them. They killing our enemy. Anybody killing our enemy is my path. I don't understand what they killing you with. They ain't killing us. I said, wait a minute, hold on, that's right. My brother told me, I was talking about the Orions and how they come. My brother said, wait a minute, you better quit talking about this. I said, why? He said, they ain't killing us. They're killing them. I don't give a damn what happened to him in Syria. They're killing them. We're talking about them. They're good friends to me. Okay then. Now, they got free reign to do what they want to them. So now they do experimentation. They make them pregnant. They give them implants. They give them all kinds of things. And then they got a thing whereas they take the body and wear the body like a spacesuit. They strip the soul, because they ain't got nothing but a little bit of energy, so they strip that soul. And then get in the body and wear like a spacesuit. They go amongst the white people monitoring them. Oh, yeah, we're going to take them out this way, take them out that way, and all this stuff. And we're going to genetically implant, we're going to get some stuff out of their body that we can use on our other planets. To strip that, because that's raw material. They can use that material, that matter stuff. So they can take the cells out and go back. So they're just taking and stripping all that. So it's just like anything else. There's obsolete, they break it down, and they take the guts out. Take it back into the universe. That's what's happening to the white people. So they come in and they strip them all down, give them all kind of genetic testing, and they test it and all this stuff. Then they got one where they come in and wear the body like a spacesuit, walk around and monitor how they gonna do things. So now when something happens and the body gives out or something, because the physical thing will burn out, and the body gives out, and they end up in the hospital room with the doctors, that alien got the exit. So he throw out that gas, and he gets on up. That's what's happening with this whole thing with these crackers. That's what's happening with that cracker in the actual thing. Now, I know it's a lot. You want to take the question and answers first? Well, no, I'm going to go into some things right now. So we can do some things. So we want to get into the stuff. Number one, the brother said about time travel. You know they invented time travel with the Philadelphia experiment. Did you get the Montauk, bro? You get the Montauk project too? Montauk too? Did you ever get the Montauk project? The Philadelphia experiment.
I got a video on it.
Yeah. Okay. Now the Philadelphia experiment was done in 1943. Where you can get the book, the movie. They got the movie on it. Where they took the ship and transported the ship from 1943 to 1983. And all. They did the time travel thing, but the two sailors on the inside was the only ones surviving, because the other ones, their astral bodies burned up and they caught on fire. Yeah, you know you can catch on fire if you do the wrong thing. They got people that explode. Your astral fire, your body just burn up. That can happen to you. So now, the people on the ship was all melted in the ship, but the two other ones, they went into 1993. One brother jumped, it was white people, his brother, the one guy, his brother, jumped over the ship and it caused a time tear in space, a rip in space that they can't repair. But one person actually went into 1943 to 1983. And the people he saw then was old people. And they said, we've been waiting on you in the whole 9 yards and all this stuff. So they actually had that. Then they invented this chair on Montauk Point, Long Island. So the beast got some stuff now. They invented this chair where they can transport you back. Now the new book, Montauk Revisited, the reason why Aleister Crowley in there was famous was Aleister Crowley started doing a lot of stuff with the Illuminati after he received the Book of the Law. He started doing a lot of stuff with them. And but then again they said that the people from Syria said if we want you to experiment and get to a high level, you so backwards, we want to even the odds when we kill you. So even the people from Syria gave them some technology. And the Orions gave them the stealth bomber in the whole 9 yards. To give them up, because they're 90,000 years more advanced than we are. Or than they are. That ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm 90,000 years more advanced. We down with it. You see, who is able to make war with the beast? We are. No one can make war with the beast on the physical level. Because he's the master of that. He's the devil. But how do you make war with the devil? You become God. And when you become God, you got a fighting force too. And your fighting force is 90,000 years to 100,000 years more advanced than his. You see, this is the kind of power we got. So they know now that the real war in space, the real war, the World War III won't be fought on the ground more. Because they got that covered. They know it's coming from outer space. That's why they let them go all the black people out of the army. And they got cutbacks in every part of the military except the space age program. That's why they took the money from the SNL loan, a scandal, and transferred it overnight into the space age program. Because they're trying to do it, and they got their little fake UFOs that can't do much in Alabama and also in Arizona. Now, Montauk Revisited come up, they got this particular chair. They take a guy and send him back in the time of Jesus with a 38 and say, shoot it. And they went up to him and pumped the gun in him, but you know, if you got your crown shotgun open, the bullet won't kill you, go right through you. So he came back and said, I couldn't kill it, man, I couldn't kill it. So they said, they sent him on a Mars mission, this cat. And we got him they sent him on a mission to Mars, excuse me.
When he got up from Mars, Jesus was there for him, and Jesus took his wounds and put it into him, and some blood into him and made him human. He came back down, he said he couldn't kill him. And stuff like that is going on in the Montauk too. But they created this particular space travel. You can get the actual movie 1984 with Michael Paré is actually talking about the particular Philadelphia experiment where the white boy with Nikola Tesla and all them created the actual time door when they went through in time travel. So that's a reality, you know. And they can do it now. They're working on that in Montauk Point, Long Island. Yeah. Now, this is some stuff on the music. Say everyone knows that Pluto in someone's chart can certainly, we certainly do not dispute this fact of life. However, we are connected with those who have it in them, and it must be examined the most violent form. Now this was a guy, this was a white guy, Michael Bell too. He's in Chicago now, I think he's out of what's his name. It says that they get ready to go in and kill the mutants. This is a white boy, and he said he wasn't white. That's going back to the thing he said. He said he was a black man in another life. They got a guy named Roy that is white. He said he was black, but they're not white people. They one of them 20% that's got the actual melanin. Now remember now, they're going to be, if you talk about, Elijah Muhammad says that some of the white people are going to help us in this thing. Some of the white people, one thing about the white man, he's an opportunist. He see he going down the tube, he going to jump to the side. So you're going to have, they say a few of them will be, well, if you talk about a few of them, they say they're going to be 3 million of them going to turn against their people. They're going to help us, 3 million of them. And they're going to be saved. Now they say that's a lot, but that's not a lot when you compute with all the white people in the world. 3 million is black. You see, they'd be saved for 1,000 years, but eventually they would have to get killed. Now, so it's going to be 3 million of them. So now this guy Michael Bell too, he said he's not white. He said he comes from Africa. So he is incarnated into a body to do a certain work. Just as Alistair Crowley said that he traced this thing back, he was incarnated into a body. Some white people are not white, they're 20% black. You see, Gerald Massey now, we know this was a part hooked up with the Great White Brotherhood. Also, he was a black man. That's why he wrote Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, and said that the white man was a mutant. You see, so this guy is saying he's going to have to kill them. He says that it must just astro-gnostic connection be satisfied. The energies and the conditions must be satisfied. He's talking about the energies. He said, but rather the mutants with Pluto are pure mutants, talking about the white man, change is a total change from the early hominid stage. He's talking about a total change from what you were. He's talking about the white people are pure mutants, total change from what you are. Okay? These mutants must be locked down into a system of yucca, which is a part, and Zoroastrian metaphysology. There's a part of the Orion part that's locked in the series called the Zoroastrian Empire. Metaphysology. They must connect their souls with the powers of yuga and undergoing a psychic mutation. The Ugandan physical-chronologically, he got these big some words to make up in this thing. He's an adult, he make up his own words. He says and the psychic reincarnation, they must be rebuilt and directed towards the role in a group soul. So they don't have no souls. They got to be rebuilt and put in a soul in a Ugandan mutation field. Then they can safely talk about membership of the hierarchy in the chaos sphere, whereby the most demonic and violent energies are released and transformed of this planet. By the means of the rituals and initiations of the systems, they can come into understanding the people of the UFOs. But they say that they must, this is the key. They say that then, now this is the key. They say that then after they get their souls, they can join the Great White Brotherhood or the Black Right in the chaos sphere. Show you something on the word chaos. Referring to chaos melanin, that primordial substance that destroys the evil and abnormal lower material matter Aiwass being a pure melanin angel and occurrence, both Aiwass, Herupak rocks, equates to the number 418, which is the number of the great works, which is melanin. Now, this is the key. 666 in the mark of the beast means the devil on the physical realm, but 666 in the mark of the beast also means melanin. It's the devil to them. Aiwass and Melchizedek is called a solar-phallic hermetic Lucifer. The devil or the devil that you have been cursing was your God. Was your God. And you were the fallen ones of that God, because that devil is in the sphere of Sirius. And his name, that Lucifer, means light bringer. Their God is your devil. That's the way Jesus Christ you got there. You done caught hell on it, didn't you? Your God, which means that your God is their devil. And the melanin is the stuff that can kill them, because the melanin is the triple darkness of space, which is in the black holes in space. And this black substance, now they just said in the New York Times that this universe is being pulled off course into black substance. That black substance is none other than melanin, and it neutralizes anything of an abnormal field. In an abnormal field. That means the black stuff in space, it holds the star clusters together. It's the same stuff that's in you. You thought it was this space, it's not space. Get the book Marcia Bartuski, called Through a Universe Darkly. It's an astronomy book where they talk about this black substance, ancient tales of cosmic ether, which is talking about melanin. This is the key with this particular melanin. Marcia Bartuski, Through a Universe Darkly is the name of the book. Now, this particular chaos that they're talking about is hell. It's called the Amenta. The Amenta is the black dot. The hell that they talk about, Amenta, is also under the ground, which is your heaven. The Amenta that's in your head is the black dot. And when you go through the Amenta, you go into Christhood. When they go through Amenta, because they got a calcified pineal gland, they meet the devil. That's a mutant. That's your God. As above, so below. What's up there is also in you. Lucifer means light bringer. That particular devil is called Aiwass, Metatron, Melchizedek, God, Allah, all of that. That's the white man's devil. And he tells you that in his metaphysics. You see, and since the arm, the leg, the head is Allah, right? Then that means that you the devil. You the devil. You his devil. Which makes you God. Because become God, you can kill that devil. You understand how that goes? Everybody on it? Yeah. All right. Now let's wrap this thing up and we're going to show you some things right now. I'm going to show you some things right now on this particular part about the devil. And we can wrap this thing up. Number one, for all you Christians, it tells you that Jesus took his followers and transported them into immediate space. And before them, in the winds, behold, ships manned by fantastic beings. In the ships, they can even distinguish the dangers, whose functions that they have stolen. What they mean by that is they talk about they can distinguish the delta danger. And this is for papyrus, so they're giving things and also too. So I can't read y'all no. I'm trying to get this stuff so I can say it to you all so you can understand. Now, that's in a Greek papyrus that's actually talking about Jesus opening up the heavens and putting his people in this particular mothership. Now, the human being can but only be reborn again and led back into the primal material, which is the black substance, which is melanin, which everything is all about. Out of this, he comes forth according to the astral nature. Before the Son of Man can be exalted, he must be humbled. That's why they say the people in Africa, the ones in our original habitat, the most humble people. That's that melanin. That's why right now you love the white man to death. You just start to hate, you hate yourself. But even though all the hell he gave you, you never turned against him while you were in the hills of North America. That lets you know that you still are a humane people. Because you should have been killed him. But you can even love your enemy. But damn sure we kill each other though. You know. I'll tell you some things you need to do in a few minutes. Now, before a man can be exalted, he must be humble. Before he can ascend to heaven, he must walk 3 days through hell. This condition is the alchemical blackness, hell, whose central darkness relates and extends through 3 days and nights, even to the total darkness for 40 days. Even Jesus remained 40 days in his resurrection on earth before he ascended into heaven. Therefore, you must go through the gates of darkness before you can attain to the paradise of white, the great white brotherhood, the crown chakra, which you gotta have melanin to have. Okay? Now, this is the key on this particular melanin. It is called the great works, which is an alchemical substance that turns base metal into gold and turns man, woman, baby, child, beast, and animal into one. What it means is this, and this is the key breakdown to Taizan of Muhammad, Sister Taizan of Muhammad's number 19, which is the number of God, the 1 and the 9. The number 19 represents the Sphinx that sits in the middle of the earth, which is Allah on both horizons, which is Heru on both horizons. That particular Sphinx, the animals in the world can do certain things. Some can transform themselves, some can live up under the water, some can live in the sky, some can do all kinds of things. But since you were exalted over them, you're supposed to do everything they do and more. That's called animal activism, and the Sphinx that sits there in the middle of the earth, which is the crown and conquering line of Judah, which is the goddess Sekhmet, which is Heru, Horus on the horizon, which is Allah on the horizon, is broken out in the number 19, saying when you get to your God, you can do all of that. You can disappear, you can get shot, they can't do nothing to you, all of that. Anything that you can imagine in the universe, you can do. And this is the mission of the number 19 of the Sphinx, which is called animal activism. This is the key thing to the number 19, which is Allah on the horizon, which is Heru on the horizon, which is the crown and conquering line of Judah, and which was in the beginning, shall be in the end, and you are those people. The great works is people who attain a spiritual level of consciousness, and it also means in the actual occult mystery, people who are born with it. The great work is melanin, the primal material. Okay? So now this is the stuff that's going on. Now, the idea of a race of lion-eyed people, talking about the Sphinx, exalted from the Sirius complex in some time frame in a deeper implications of resonant genes, which the genes have inherited by their Syrian forebearers. They mean that you inherited the genes of the people on the planet Sirius, who is God, who were responsible for the growth and the development of this solar system in which we live. It on Earth manifests the personal groups of racial genetic codes. But for those who carry the Syrian gene, the black dot, the 10, 12 double helical structures of the DNA, which you manifest it, the melanin, the cat-lining crystal gene are the strongest. That's you. That's who they're talking about. You see, Ramesses said himself, I believe myself to be born out of Sekhmet. Sekhmet being the doggone Sphinx in the middle of the earth. And the people that are born out of that are the gods of the universe. Because there's a Sphinx on the moon, there's a Sphinx on Mars, there's a Sphinx on every planet that fit directly in the same center of the earth as us. Get Richard Hoagland's book, Monuments on Mars. And this is talking about the God that was and is, and that's talking about you, the God of the universe, which is Allah, because you are the microcosm of the macrocosm. Now, white people mind saying they come from Lyra, which is a lie, because Lyra is a planet of Heru, and the people that are born out of the eye of Heru, he defends their souls. And the people that are born out of the eye of Heru, the eye of Ra, or the eye of Set, are black people because you possess that eye of Heru in your third eye complex called melanin. Check? Now, so they lie. But in their lying, they're trying to tell the truth. They said, they said, oh, people, okay, they said, we from Lyra. Now, hell, you ain't learned how to live on earth in peace. How you gonna go out some other place to try to live? And who would want you? You can't even live on peace with nobody on earth. If we came a race in the country, in the world, that say that they lived in peace with the white man, in the history of the world, you can't even live on the earth with other people, and you say you gonna get offended, and they gonna pick you up, take you back to life. They picking you up all right, and stripping you all for your genes, put implants in you, go see a movie fire in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't no picnic when that rapper got on that ship, and seen them with white people with holes all in their body, and he cried like a baby. They put that stuff on him. And they told you it was a true movie that happened in the early 70s. So ain't no picnic for them. They gonna go through hell. They say so. Whatever they say, we had gyms on this planet first, but the Syrians got here first. See, they're lying. Say whatever happened to the Syrians who interfered with the Lyrians? See, they done picked a planet out there that they don't belong to. They're gonna lie. But they tell the truth. They say by interfering with the Lyrians, they became intergenetically tied to Earth. So they're saying the Syrians are intergenetically tied to Earth, which is us. They have always had many tricks up their sleeve. And in this case, they got the last laugh. They're saying in this case, the Syrian people, or the people from Syria, got the last laugh. When working with the Lyran groups doing the genetic program, they inserted a latent DNA code. This code within human cells, this code is triggered by the acceleration of the vibration that occurs when civilization begins to evolve spiritually. The Earth accelerates towards a self-awareness fourth-dimensional density, which is presently occurring right now. This code and trigger is activated. Once activated, the human race unwinds its limited division like a coil. That's the kundalini rising up, like a snake. Until all things become visible. It is their way of allowing them to eat from the tree of life, 10 DNA strands. They're saying that this particular code that the actual Syrians put in you, and it is triggered when the Earth accelerates to the vibratory rate, which we know now that Sirius A and Sirius B conjuncted today. The 60-year Sydney ceremony, the last time they had it was 60 years ago, and now you are waking up in this particular day right now. This stuff is over now. Let's go on and wind some things up. Want to wind some things up, and want to give you some things on the messenger Elijah Muhammad, because he didn't believe in him. Behold, Elijah cometh. The Jews said to suppose that Elijah enters the chamber among his coming, the original Hebrews, which are the original children of Ra, because that go all the way back to Egypt and Lemuria. So don't just take it as this one particular group of people. Elijah entered the chamber among the child, to seat left vacant for him in the double chair. That means that he, in the book, people will think that they say Elijah incarnates to a people when they're at their lowest point in civilization, and he reincarnates over and over and over again. So that Elijah in the Bible was the same one that was here on earth. You see what I'm saying? Now, it says the seat of Elijah. Elijah in the center of a large chamber of the Hebrew traditions is identified with he who comes with the number 8. That is the bow tie that he wore around him to symbolize infinity and the number 8. It appears likewise to indicate that he is from the god Tahuti. Elijah was a form of Tahuti, and Tahuti means messenger. Tahuti drives the ship of Ra. Elijah was the pilot of the ship of Allah, which he told you that there was this ship. And the white boy bears witness to it in his book. Neil Wilbur is the Numenoid, where he said that they came and visited the MIB, who are UFO scientists, came and visited Malcolm X's last year in prison in 1950. You see. So that bears witness that they knew of this mothership that they took out of his briefcase in 1944 in Honorable Elijah Muhammad when he went to jail for opposing the draft. Okay. 8 appears likewise to indicate that he is the god Tot, which is Tahuti, or Sut Anubis. Sut is the announcer of the goddess of the 7 stars, and one comes annually. Tot, who represents the messenger, the voice of the Logos and the 7 gods, the manifest of the Paloma, and the completer of Hagar. He comes, he that cometh. The Hagar, he that cometh. Elijah cometh as the messenger to announce the prophecy of the Hagar. Tot supersedes Set, or Sut, that Baal or Bar in Egypt. Elijah portrays the great appointment of Baal in Egypt. They see he opens the way. When you see the god Anpu Tahuti as the messenger, or you see the god Anubis, they open the way. That's the opening of the way. So this is the thing on Elijah that also came also too. It says that the Quran records says that the angel Gabriel came from the constellation of the dog star, and Muhammad was reputed to have been taken to the 7th heaven, Saturn, by Gabriel, flying in a white sea spaceship with 600 wings, about 597 AD. The Lord of Venus that helped teach Earthman Mercury together with mankind is indigenous to the Sirius constellation Canis Major, where Isis in the 11th that was Isis in the 11th even king, whatever that means. Isis and Osiris were space beings from the planet Canis Major, which is Sirius. Did Isis bring wheat, or Offset bring wheat and corn from Canis Major constellation? And Earth's origin of wheat has not been discovered. Now this is some stuff from other documents on Sirius. It's coming down the tube. Now I got one other thing that I got to do, because it's talking about you, and that is this. It says in the Holy Quran, we'll be taking question and answer. We go to this last part. It says that he is the Lord of Sirius, and he is the Lord of the second creation. That's talking about the second 26,000 year period. The first creation went down with Atlantis and the Moed, and the earth separated. The second creation is the one we got going on now. It said the second creation, and he enriches and causes to possess, and he is the Lord of Sirius. This is another translation from another part of the Quran. And he destroyed ancient Atlantis, which is also Atlantis. And now we know that the Noah, that the flood that Noah was talking about was when Atlantis went down. That's the flood. Okay. It said, however, the teachings of Muhammad set down the Quran and later Christian texts, and before is much nearer to our time. It represents an addendum to the prophet of the Jesus of Nazareth. It says it is seriously laden with terrible warnings of the final destruction of the star Sirius. Now, it says it is an addendum or an appendage. This is what they're saying, the reason why people have been fighting. You're supposed to take the Book of the Dead, the Holy Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, and put them all together and read them as one book. You take the Holy Quran and the Bible and put it together. The Holy Quran is the second appendage to the Bible. It is the second one to the Bible, and you read them as a book. That's why you've been arguing. And take the Book of the Dead and put that on there too, because all of it is one. Okay, you got that? All right. The people of Talmud left before the survivor, and before them, the people of Noah, who were the most, etc. All right. The italics of other includes that emphasize the esoteric astronomical significance of the text of the theme under the heading Yin-Sin of the Quran says, the sun is given to overtake the moon. Thus, the night overtakes the day, but each of his own sphere both journey on. It is also a sign that there's in the laden full ark, and we drawn them like vessels, and we embark. and we drown them. Now they're talking about this ark. And they're talking about this ark. And this Noah's ark was not no ship, no wooden ship where they put every animal on the world in two. It was some people that was living in Atlantis, and they got the hell up out of Atlantis in a spaceship which was vessels. Okay? And that's how they saved themselves and went to the other parts of the earth. Some of those people. Okay? Some say they started Kemet. I say Kemet was already there because we got Sphinx to bear witness to that. And it was actually one of the capitals. Though the Quran has great repudiation of the flood theme and many references of destruction of stone-charged winds, yet it refers to the future ark or arks, whether the ark of the Noah deluge, they're saying it's arks, flying arks, which are spaceships other than some old boat, you know, no wooden boat and stuff. You know, the white man going to some mountain trying to find them in search of Noah's ark and all. No, the destruction, no, the association with the Lord of Sirius in the Surah of the Star can only be Sirius itself. In pre-dynastic time, in pre-dynastic Egyptian time, he is him who is named Osiris. Take note, the royal we, Osar, which is Osiris, Aset, which is Isis, and Heru, which is Horus. Perhaps an entire Osirian race, God-like men, brother, gods, immensely powerful, influential, yet omnipotent, universal created beings, perhaps monitors and directors of a terrestrial mankind. Osiris said himself, as we choose the courage and choice to size them up, thus within the high levels of prophecy, the Holy Writ remains the hope based upon the astronomical realities. They just told you that this whole thing with this Lord of Sirius is an entire Osirian race. They said an entire Osirian race and a remnant of an entire Osirian race. Osiris means Lord of the perfect black. Let's rephrase that. Let's take out Osiris or Osar and let's say the word Lord of the perfect black. Then you say Lord of the perfect black, an entire remnant of Lord of the perfect black race. That's talking about you. They say a remnant, they talk about that which is left over. They're not talking about that and what's up is up in the sky. A remnant means what is left over. That's you. But right here it says that the hope of the planet is based upon astronomical realities. They're talking about you of being an extraterrestrial government. That's what these people are talking about. And this is the white man talking this stuff. That's what time it is. One last point I'm going to do, if I can find this thing, is talking about boom, 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 boom. Yeah. This woman, the book is called Conversation with Nostradamus. I forgot the woman's name. It's 3 books. I think it's in book 2 or 3. I don't know why, but I couldn't bring all these books this time. She said that she's having some things going on in the future. And she said that the world is already destroyed and these people are arranging this trip. So they said they got one little white girl that was saved over and she's going there with her husband to Sirius. And she said, and they said, how did these people look? They say they had these contacts with extraterrestrials. And it says, on board, who's piloting the ships? Will you tell that they were not from this planet? They look humanoid. They wear similar clothing. Now she's talking about the people on Sirius. They are bald and have protruding eyes. Their ears are closer to the head inside their head. They have a spiral structure on their ear similar to a cranial or combined nucleus cell, whatever. Their noses and nostrils are flat. You know who that is. A bit flatter. Their nose, they're different and different, they are different looking, no, let's put it this way, they are different, excuse me, other than the difference, they look very much like humans, excuse me. I've been going so fast in the spirit, so I have to slow myself down and read. These aliens are large people or small people. This is the guy asking, are they large people or small people? They say they are medium in height. Their skin is not white, but a golden brown color. Their hair aren't shiny, but they are bald. They have an unusual cranial shape. You know that unusual cranial shape comes from Africa. They what they call it, Dogonocephalic, with that big head scientist. And you hold up with that big head, and you go to Ethiopia, they got that big head. They say that's unusual cranial shape. They are different looking, but they are not ugly. They project such a loving nature. We find it very irresistible. Can you see their hands? Are they different? And she's saying, but she says that, yes, they are a bit different. Their fingers are thin and trapped in a cone shell or whatever. It doesn't look like they have hair follicles and extra things on their body. Well, you know, we don't have the hair thing on our body. That's the beast that got all that hair, because he's an ape man, because he trapped that ape energy out of this human artificial when we was mutating and grafting that beast by certain levels of the year in the system. And certain times when we had sex, we brought down energy that tapped into an animal realm. And it was that ape. I got that on my human artificial when she gave you tape. There are people from the Sirius solar system, or the Sirius star system. But right here they're saying they got a dark brown skin and this whole thing. And this woman, she gives you some type of thing. But Devil Clay already told you how they look. Well, I saw one. I know he's from Sirius. It was a black man. His eyes were sunk into his head. But when I turned around, I knew that he was a brother. But he just didn't look. He looked like one of our cousins. But you know, we probably are offshoot from it. But he looked like one of our cousins. But he looked like something like an Egyptian or whatever, or Ethiopian, in this famous metaphysical bookstore. So I got this. This was not Aiwass. This was this other person. So I got this to the door. I said, well, I'm gonna get over here and talk to this person. So the white boy introduced me to it. He said, you're Asian. So I got to the door. So I was talking to him when he come out. I'm talking to him. But what happened was the white boy came up and started talking to me, and I was waiting for him to go at the front door. And I looked, he was gone out of the store. And he couldn't, there wasn't no back door, so how the hell did he disappear out of the store? And all this stuff. And right after that, about 2 weeks later, I met this particular Aiwass that is standing with us right now, and we got the juice. Now, some things you got to do. This is what you got to do. Now, I'll tell you like it is because I love you, but this is some things that's got to be done. I said, well, I'm not going to say this today. I said, I don't want to offend nobody. I said, but I got to tell them. You know what I'm saying? You want to get on the ship, you got to tell you what you got to do. Number one, they say that, and this is what Thunderdog said, who is that form of Aiwass in the whole 9 yards. They say, number one, you take the person that you take, everybody that you love, and send them a bolt of light. You see. You send them a bolt of light, and you say this light is to prosper you to all divine perfection, something like that. That's close to it. So I prosper you in all divine perfection. You take everybody you love, but you got to make amends with every black man and woman that done got on your rough side and you hate them. God knows we got some of them that got on our rough side. So now, you take them, and you send them this bolt of lightning. And you say that, what did I say? What did I say? I say, what did I say? I prosper you in all divine perfection. Do that. That's it. I prosper you in all divine perfection. And you send everybody you know in your family and you love that bolt of lightning. And hit him in the head. It's like they hit the brother in the head. Booyah. Bolt of head. And send them that bolt of light. Even every brother that you hate and despise, you got to make amends. Because remember now, we're not in our rightful mind. So anything that we do on this earth plane, even in selling out, we're not our rightful mind. And so, number two, Anytime somebody makes you mad, that person is your master. That's your master. Because he controls your emotions. That's that getting off that gear level. That's your master. Now, what you do is, anytime something or anything that you get mad off is anger that is shutting you down. You say, move on, or move on by. I believe only in God, who is divine protection in all which is manifested. No, excuse me. Move on, I believe only in God, who is divine perfection in everywhere manifested. Do that. Okay? Number one, they don't want you to pray no more. Now, I know that's hard. I know some of the Muslims are holding on y'all, but I'm telling you what they're going to say. If that's contradiction now. Come on, Nation of Islam. If you the God of the universe, what the hell are you doing praying? What they're trying to tell you is this. They're trying to tell you this, that you got to start taking responsibility for who you are. And they get tired of you coming to them, praying to them. They're saying, look for nobody outside of yourself. How you get to the Creator is through yourself. Not go up, go out, and go up. You go in and go up. Because your telephone line is through Him. So they say, look nowhere but inside yourself to the higher you, which is already God. So pray to yourself. They say, and how you do that? They say most people prayers don't even get the yoga now say most people prayers don't even get the ceiling, let alone get the heaven. They don't even get the ceiling, let alone get the heaven. When you pray, you are talking to God. When you meditate, you are receiving answers from God. So no more prayer. You say, be and it is. You're the God, and you can will it into existence. And when you fix your mind that way, you ain't got to worry about no more money or none of this stuff. Because the cracker, it's going to get tough, because the cracker going to let all that go. Plus, we going to let all that go too. Because when we take out his civilization, the stuff that is comfortable, we're going to have to learn to live without. So you say, be and it is, and I will it into existence. And that's it. And don't worry about it. See, you're talking about having faith. You pray and you still worrying about it. That means you don't believe in the divine manifestation of God. And you don't believe in yourself, who is God. Because to know yourself is to know God. Believe in self, and to believe in self is to believe in God. And you don't believe in none of that. If you still worrying about it, don't worry about it. Say, I'll be in it and put it out your mind. You got them bills, you say, I can't do nothing about it. I'm going to be broke anyway. I can't do nothing about it. My credit already bad. Everybody's credit bad. You ain't going to never get on top of the money situation. You'll always be bills. So don't worry about it. This ain't be and it is. But if you believe in the high source, the cracker can't bother you, not even with money. Don't worry about it. They already granted us. They told us, well, sister, they say, when you go off this Indian mountain, don't you worry about it. Don't die. Because the worry about that is to put your thing over to a white guy, because he's on that front of that dollar bill. But he's going to be happy. He's going to help you, because he's going to take it off the dollar bill, because you all know about the metal strip in the dollar bill.
Yes.
I don't need to pull them out no more 20s to show you. They're in the 20s, and you can pull them out. And they can fly real out and tell you how much money you got. And when they take that money off the market, in about another month or so, if you got it on you, you going to jail. Now they tell you all this counterfeit junk. They've been counterfeit since days of old. But all of a sudden they ain't keeping it counterfeit. But yet Bill Clinton is talking about a national health care system which ain't nothing but the debit card. And in the debit card you told us you either in the system or out of the system. So you can't talk no more junk if you got the card. They say, okay, we just tap on a button to take you off the computer. Now what you gonna do? So that's total slavery. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what time it is. But just be what it is and say, don't worry about those things no more. Get off this material level. It don't mean nothing. It don't exist. It don't exist. It don't exist, which reminds me, I got to show you this one other little thing. But it don't exist. The material level don't exist. But get off that material level. Now, it says that in the Syrian magic, the Dogons tell us that the dwellers of the Sirius star system had to overcome their particular form of sex. Since the Osirian drama is manifested in the solar system, Earth in particular is now forced with the same battle of the Syrian cousins that won in other time zones. They say that what we're going through was already fought and won in another war in space a long time ago. So what happens because this is going into a lower dimension, those thoughts travel into space and they get caught into this particular dimension and they manifest physically. And so all this is a big hologram. It's like a VCR, it's a movie that's being played out. Remember, we already won the war. So the war was fought in space about 10 million years ago with Sirius and Orion. And we won that war. It's just reoccurring again now, instant replay. So this is all an illusion. They say when you raise the kundalini and chakra and get to your higher self, the illusionary world disappears and the real world begins. You have been caught into thinking, trapped into thinking that this physical body is the real you. Right. The real you is on the inside. This is only a role that you play. And when you get through with this role in this school, you got to go to another role. If you don't pass this role and go to another level. Check? Check. All right. These are some things you got to do. Now, some things you got to do is, and I ain't telling you, to wean yourself off of it.
Get off. Me.
Get off. Get off of it. I'm telling you this. Ain't no, we're going to cut down. The only way you do things is cold turkey. That's it. You got to get off all meat. All of it. No chicken, no fish, no beef, none of that. No pork, none of that. You got to get off of it. Not so much a health reason, because you already know health is you don't supposed to be eating it. With all the hormones, and they can grow a chicken in 3 weeks. They can grow a cow in 9 months. A whole cow. You got to get off it. Now, I know that's kind of hard for some of you getting scared. And I said, I don't know how to get off the meat. But there's dead animal vibrations. Now, I'm trying to show you something. If you're going to be real for your own liberation, don't say what the hell you can't do. You do it. Cold turkey. You already got a built-in mechanism. Right now, you get mad at a black person, you say, I ain't mess with that nigga no more. And you don't mess with him no more. And you don't mess 15 years, you ain't mess with him no more. You already got the call, you just got it on the wrong end. Do the same thing with the chicken, I ain't messing with it no more. He's like, I ain't messing with it no more. You do the same thing every time you get mad, I ain't messing with that nigga no more. And you don't mess with him no more. You already got it built into you. It's just functioning on the wrong level. See what I'm saying? You already got it. Do the same thing with your meat, I ain't messing with it no more. That's what you got to do. You got to get off the meat, so diet is key. You got to get off all the, you got to get off all the dairy products, because that calcifies the pineal gland. Cheese, that's just like eating a cow. All that got to go. And I love some cheese. That's the hardest thing to get off, because when you become a vegetarian, the cheese becomes your meat. I can eat the veg and I'll have to slice some cheese up in it. You see? But you got to get off the cheese too. Because guess what? They tell you glue is made from the heart. Glue is made from milk. That's why they got that cow on that board, on that glue. Elmer glue. Made from milk. And that's the kind of stuff going in your body. That cheese. You see what I'm saying? You got to get off all dairy products because they give you that mucus, and the mucus is what kills you. You got to demucus yourself. All animal vibrations spiritually, because you can't rise spiritually with dead animal vibrations in you. That's a dead animal. That's something that died on the earth, and you got it in your body. Think about it. You see what I'm saying? The blood, you hooked on blood. Try getting off the crack, try getting off beef. It's the blood. That's what tastes good to you. You see what I'm saying? And let it sit up too long. The blood will rise and be a red clot of blood. If you ever seen this? It's blood. You got to get off the animal thing. You saying it's hard, but the white man tells you right now, I need you to be on that job tomorrow morning. I need you to move from doggone New York to Dallas, and I need you in a blue suit, and I want you to change your voice. You do it in a minute. But yet when it comes to saying your own body, I don't know about those things. When it's saying to do things and give yourself to your God, you can't do it. So ain't no excuse. I used to say, you just could go there. No, cut it out. This is what they're saying, cold turkey. They're tired of fleeing around. We could have been off this thing 50 years ago. They waiting on us.
That's right.
We the ones that's messed up. They waiting on us. You see. Now you can extend this white man and get a few more years, enough years to kill you based on you being lazy. And you don't need the masses of the people. The masses, they never did nothing but die. The masses, they never ran nothing. They're a popular culture where it feels good, tastes good, smells good, sounds good, looks good.
Come on, brother. See.
That's the animal level. That's almost an instinct in our animal senses. That ain't nothing spiritual whatsoever. We in the animal box. That's what the masses do. They follow the popular trends and the culture. It's the nucleus that runs the society. The white man got that's us from us in the mission system. He running it on us. Whole world around a small clique. So your liberation is a small clique. It don't have to be the masses. The masses ain't gonna do nothing. The Minister Brown County packed 50,000 people up in there. And them people listen to him, get on the high, go right back out in the street and act a damn fool. And he only gets the nucleus to bear witness of what he's saying. So it's only the nucleus from the beginning. The reason why the black liberation people went crazy in the 60s, start marrying white women and start doing all kind of crazy stuff, is because they thought they could get the masses. And you weigh yourself thin, that's too much. You don't build from the outside in, you build from the inside out.
That's right.
If you take the nucleus, because the small point is what's operating you, that's the soul, the black dot.
Like that.
You build from the nucleus, and when you make that radiate shine, then the popular culture, they see it shine and they go into it. So you draw them from the outside in. You know, you draw them from the outside in. You don't go and try to make it so that you're trying to liberate the masses. You weigh yourself in like that. Don't worry about them. You see what I'm saying? Don't worry about them. Even if you believe in the Bible, they talking about one man coming back, that's all they need. The Bible don't say a whole man. They say, well, 2 or more gathered in my name.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So we talking about the nucleus. So don't worry about the masses. Every time you get up here and worry about what this cracker doing every day, as far as how much he is doing this and how much black people in racism is taking time off the job you need to do. And believe me, he got enough of that to keep you here worrying about that till the year 2000 and 4,000, 2,952 billion years. He'll just keep creating. And you stand here worrying about this physical level and all this stuff, and when you're supposed to be doing work to take him off the planet. Okay? So number 1, diet. Number 2, meditation. Don't worry about it. Just sit down and close your eyes. Let go and let God. Breathe 10 breaths in this nose. Let it out. 10 in this nose. Do the 9. 9 completion. 9 in this nose. 9 in this nose. Fill the brain up. Breathe in the nose like this. Hold it. Let it out. Do that about 9 times. And then close your eyes and see what happens. And just stay quiet. Use some meditation music or whatever. But gotta meditate. Because they want to start communicating with us. And the woman that she do it, she can get it just like that. I meditate a whole year. I got all the feelings. I meditated a whole year. I got all the feelings. One super came over the first time. She said, I want to meditate. She got on the ground, and I had this big old picture of this temple of Karnak, and they got this pool on the side of the temple of Karnak that they built in Washington, D.C., that pool of water in the Washington Monument. But it came from Egypt in the temple of Karnak, or Hemmitt. They got the pool there. On the picture wall. She said, I want to go there. So just close your eyes and start doing it. I close eyes. 15 minutes later, she in there crying. I said, what's wrong with you? I said, oh Lord, why do you always give me these fools? You always make me crazy. She just crying. Come to find out, and I've been meditating the whole year. She sit down for the first time. Come to find out, she done went and left her body, went into the picture, got into the pool, and was swimming around in the pool, and it was a temple of Aphrodite, that hippopotamus goddess. It was her temple, and she came out and told her, you're not ready, you got to go back. When I woke 15 minutes, now this 15 minutes, I woke up, she in there crying because she was mad because she wanted to stay, and God sent her back. And I said, I'll be there. I've been meditating a whole year, and she done left me. Now, Egypt in a dog. So now, the women already got it. If the women hook up, they can hit this stuff like it ain't nothing. But they already told us to rejoice because the stuff is here. You just got to stay on the frequency. Now this is the other key. This is what's going to hurt. That Monday when we got back, the sister went on the mothership, one of the sisters went on the mothership, and the brother Baba went on the mothership. They both saw Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Then there's other mothership, because one brother drives the mothership, he got a mothership and he's sitting on it. And his wife went on and said, I went on another mothership and I saw my husband on it. And he said he holds the door and he's the driver of that mothership. And stuff, right? Okay. Now, they came back down, and then the other brother, the one that they hit the bolt of lightning in his head, he said he was concerned. He said for the visions he was seeing, he didn't see no women in it. And he saw the guys going further than the women. And he was concerned. Then, and so what happened was, the next morning they gave him the number 4 and 5, which is 9 completion. And they said, woman needs to decode it. Went around and nobody decoded it, and then it came to me, and it came to one other sister, and two of the spiritual sisters, I decoded it, and I talked to them, and they said, you were right. They said the same thing came to them too, on what happened. And I'm going to tell you what the decoding was for the woman. How she can get on the mothership. And this is the key. This is going to hurt some people. This is what the deal is. Number one, the reason why you are not going further is because, one thing, we can wear European clothes, or we can wear African clothes. But when the man is at his most humble state, is when he take off his clothes, he's naked to the world, and he can't put on that facade no more out here in the macho world. So that's when you are at your total being, when you in your spiritual abode, in your night clothes, or when you naked or whatever. You helpless. That's why somebody opens the door, you go crazy. Get out of here! Now, this is what the deal is. When we take all this, we shed all the European stuff when we African again. Or we the original people again. This is the reason why the sisters ain't doing it. When the brother take all this stuff, because the brother lives in what is a patriarchal society, he's not obligated based on a patriarchal and a secular society to do things that the sister got to do just to be in competition, because her man sees the white woman as the paradigm, and she has to do things to look like the white woman to be accepted by her black man. So therefore she has to go through another configuration to be accepted by her black man, because he likes a particular thing about her. So when she gets naked, she's not totally undressed because she's not in her pure African state, because her original hair is got a relaxer in it. And it's not the original. This is not nothing to be ashamed about, because we all 2 days in the Constitution, we all got pathologies. Now, if your hair come out the scalp that way, that's the original way God gave it to you. But if your hair don't come out the scalp like that, and it looks like the white woman hair, you got to take it out. For your sake, and you got to take it out to teach your man that he gonna have you natural, he ain't gonna have you no other way. Now, it's a good video here. I gotta get one of these. I'm on fire. Look, now, the hair is the number 9. It curls up like the number 9. It is a double helical structure in the DNA structure and the spiral cord of the breakdown of the universe. And you flatten it out. This is real hair. White people have fur. Now look at the animals and look at their hair. Ain't nobody got no hair like you, but one thing, and that's the sheep and the lamb. And the lamb is Christ. Hair is lamb's wool. He is the lamb. If you understand what they're trying to tell you about the metaphysic part of the lamb in the Bible. The lamb is the melanated hair, which is the double helical structure of the DNA, melanin, and the breakdown of the universe is in a spiral. And you flatten it out with the no-lie relaxer. Now this is nothing, but I'm just telling you what the deal is, because if you want to get on there, you're saying, I want to be back to the original God so I can save myself. Well, the original God got spiritual antennas that pick up the waves from space. When you flatten it out, the antenna is relaxed. When you relax, you dead. So your spiritual antennas are dead. I know this is hard to bear, but we got to do these things. I've been on a 5-day fast and I had to cut out the meat and I got to do this kind of thing here. I got to get off the big male ego and all that kind of stuff that I had to do. But we got to do things. We got to transform ourselves from this niggerhood, in this animal box. You see what I'm saying? You know, only 85% of the black woman in this country, no, 98% of the black woman in this country don't wear her real hair. Now we're saying you're a victim is why this thing is going on. I know it looks classical and it's a fashion, but you got to look at the root of the fashion. You got to look at why, if it looks like this, it's bad hair, and if it looks closer to the paradigm of the white woman who is not a standard of beauty, it's good hair. Now if it come out the scalp like that, you're born like that. And it's still not straight, it still has a double helical spiral even if it's straight like that. But it's just another texture because Africa is not subjected to one prototype of hair. But I be doggone if your hair come out that prototype, the hell if you're gonna try to do it like the other one, that ain't going that way. So we make that excuse, well, we can wear this hair like this because all the hair in Africa wasn't this way. But if we ain't talking about that, we be talking about yours. Why you gotta put the relaxer in? A temporary permanent. Ain't nothing permanent about it. You know, a permanent food, a temporary hairdo. Now they ain't talking about the sister. That's talking about all of us, because the black man is fixated on features that look like the European. And the woman is in double hill because the beauty myth, why she got to stay in the mall and shop and be stuck in this physical realm and all this particular thing on what she does is because she's trying to be accepted by the male, because this is a male-dominated society. And the other woman looks at her and looks down on her because most women are male chauvinists. That's called a pedagogy of the oppressor. Where the oppressed take on the mind of the oppressor. Since the oppression is sexism, racism, and classism, we are sexist, racist, and classist. You see what I'm saying? So the woman is a sexist too. Oh, all my best friends is men. You hear that before? Most of my best friends is men. You see what I'm saying? This is because you got to start a view of your own sister based on a sexist, patriarchal attitude. And we all got to start a view of each other based on racism. You see what I'm saying? So they go hand in hand. You see what I'm saying? But not only that, now that's for the spiritual reasons. You gotta look like God or look like your original form if you want to get back to your original state. If your hair's originally like that, then fine be it. Coming out the scalp like that. If it's not, take it out. Now that's the spiritual part. The second part is this. Dermatologists came to spell. White men call him in. They're doing autopsy on black women. They don't know what's going on. They dumbfounded. They don't know because they're white. They don't know. They don't know. Some of them don't know we crazy. They just think that we just way by nature. They don't know we crazy. Because they have been cheated and knowing our history as slaves. So they just think, well, you here, I'm here, you crazy. You can't get together. But maybe it wasn't meant for you to get together like white people, because you're supposed to be on another level. People that graduated all this material junk, you're supposed to be on a spiritual realm. They the beast, and this is the highest they can go. So don't try to be like them, you can be better than them. But, going back to the story, white people call this black dermatologists and say, what's wrong with you, man? What's wrong? Say, we looking at the cranial and the brains of black women, and they got this stuff on their brains. What the hell is it? He didn't say nothing because he was embarrassed. He knew what it was. He said, I don't know, and he left. Came back to stuff and said he knew what it was. He was just embarrassed and he felt bad about it. It was that doggone relaxer. See, they just don't just stop at the scalp. You know what I'm saying? You got pores in the skin, in the bone, and all that. And it seeps right through. You see what I'm saying? It's on the brain. So for health reasons, you got to take that lie off the brain. Don't let nobody fool you. Anything to straighten your hair out is a lie. Or some kind of chemical. You see? How you doing, sister? There's another sister. How you doing? All right. Now, that's what time it is on that level. Now, if you put the braids in there, that's cool, because your hair ain't relaxed under it. So put in the braids. At least that's African. It came from Senegal. It's your invention. You know what I'm saying? Egyptians used to wear wigs and stuff like that. There's all kind of vanity secrets if you gotta have that. Or dread it up. Put in the braids. At least you don't have to maintain it like you do West Color. And then I don't see why you don't do it. You steady burning up your face with the curling iron. Burn up your face with the curling iron. Now, if you know all my lectures, I deem the woman as the God of the universe. So I'm not sitting trying to attack sisters. We talking about patriarchal structure and why we do things. And this is what we got to do. And these are some things that we have to do. And now you got to study everything you get your hands on. You see what I'm saying? You got to study everything you get your hands on. And to end this thing, what I am saying is that the time is now. You just wait. You think it ain't nothing, man, scratch. He know now that if you become vegetarian, now they're going to start putting, they start to grow vegetables with animal hormones. You see? They're trying everything to still keep you from being the God that you are. But you in this war. And you got to be in this war to win it. Now there's peacetime and there's wartime. In wartime, you don't do the same things as in peacetime. And in peacetime, you don't do the same things in wartime. It's just that it's wartime now, you thinking it's peacetime. Worrying about being here, what kind of grandkids you gonna have 60 years from now. It ain't going down like that. It's right now. I'm telling you this right now. Because we going through it right now. People on the spiritual plane going through it now. Why do you think they're attacking Mr. Farrakhan? Why do you think they're doing this to Khalid Muhammad? Khalid Muhammad been talking junk about the white people, and actually he is toned down. This is my version. All of a sudden now he too much to bear. He been talking that junk about the white people the last 6-7 years, and he never said nothing. You know the white man know. But now they know that because he does have the masses listening to him, they got to stop him in his tracks. You see? And so Polar Arsenio stood up to me, I got to do what I got to do. The Jews said, we got to do what we got to do too. And you threw. And they got rid of him for the Farrakhan thing. You see what I'm saying? That's what they got rid of him for. That's why they got rid of him. Based on that thing. You see? So now this is why they get rid of all your people. I don't even want to put Michael Jackson in the lineup as being that kind of person. Anybody cut off white man's skin and tell you vitiligo. Now come on, everybody believe that. He told me I got skin disease, but did the skin disease happen to cut off your nose and cut off your chin? Come on, man, let's get real. He did that and stuff because his nose and all is indicated the man wanted to be white. And he also had something done to his pineal gland because he didn't want to secrete melanin also, to keep it white like that. So you know anything, you know about that artery and that artery. You put that stuff on the bleach and that sun hit you and you be blacker than what you was before you bleached it. So that pineal melanin come back on you. You be blacker than what you was. Say, yeah, she bleached herself and now she done turned black. You know that stuff. So now that stuff he got, so he had to stop his pineal gland for secreting melanin. And the white man telling him, we're going to make a guinea pig out of him. So they come in and say, you can stop your pineal gland from secreting. And he doing, they laughing at him. But they experimenting on him the whole time. So he's a bad example. He's a bad example. And I don't give a doggone to nobody. So he ain't nothing to even rap about. You come in the house and see me in the bed with a little white boy. You know I did something. And if I didn't do something, I still need to be locked up. And you know doggone well he did it. That's just straight up. Because he is the last person for an example for us to admire. You know, he loved white people to death. Wanted to be with them. And see, you didn't know what happened. Remember now on the NAACP Awards. He gonna come pouncing out there. Now listen, I followed him. And I noticed some things. In the 80s, in the late 80s, when he got popular around 83 and 84 with this Thriller thing. And in the early 90s, he had 2 shows he'd make appearance on. He would make an appearance on the American Music Award, and he would make an appearance on the Grammy Awards. He either accepted an award or either he was performing. All the other black shows he wouldn't come on. He wouldn't come on the NAACP Awards. And he wouldn't come on the Soul Train Awards, but yet they would give him awards all the time. They had to because he's the greatest entertainer in the world. But he would accept the award sitting on his couch. I remember in school, I said, why he don't come on them shows? As soon as he get in trouble and the black man starts kicking in his behind, he come pouncing up on the Elliott Award and the black people start cheering. But they didn't know what happened. But if you notice, if you get the tape, if you can get it, Charles Dutton, who is rock, who is conscious, and Denzel Washington, who is conscious, they said he called after Malcolm X, he called Mr. Farrakhan every day. I heard, I said, who is conscious now? They was not laughing. Charles Dutton was like this. Said, I dare you come back now. After they done put their foot up your behind. Now you gonna come and get off your couch and come, I know I'm innocent. And then Tilda Washington walked out and said these words. He said, we put you on top in the Motown days, and as you see, he's got to come back to the black community to get support because he's in trouble. I'm telling you that. You see what I'm saying? So, most of these entertainers ain't nothing to dwell on in the first place. You see what I'm saying? But Arsenio Hall, I do give him credit. He did stand up after all. You never know what a person can do. It cost him his career, but hell, he made $20 million last year. What did he get a TV show in the You see? But he did stand up after all. So that even lets you know that there is Uncle Tom that's redeemable. Every now and then they conscious ball and they got to do the right thing, and he did the right thing. He paid the price, but then again, he's a rich man, so who cares? He already got the money. And even if he didn't never have no money, Uncle Muhammad told him in the speeches, don't sell out for $2, not even $1 million. That's right. Sell your soul buck dancing and bootlicking, licking boots and butts for the white man. So with that and stuff, we're going to end because I know it's been good. I hope I stimulated you with some things. So you meditate and get in touch with yourself. If you want to see what we're going to need, take a little bit of question and answer for those who want to have a little bit of question and answer. But tonight, all you got to do is look up in the sheet. And tonight is a serious cycle, so if you go meditate tonight, you might get some juice. How long? 30 minutes to an hour. But put you 4 glasses of water in your house on one each point. And then meditate and try to imagine that sun with them wings on it. And you can get some juice tonight before 12 o'clock, before the serious cycle is over. And if that don't hit, you go back Monday and do the same thing, because the new moon is the same, it's the 3rd day of that cycle, so meditate the next 3 days. And if you can, the next 2 days, do some fasting, at least fast on Monday. But when you go outside, if you see any little bright things that's down lower than the stars, you can tell where a star is, and you can tell there's a big bright thing sitting up there in the sky. That is not a star, that's a spaceship. And they're here monitoring, and they're here for those who want to see. And once you tap into it and start seeing these things, you will see them every night, and they'll start following you. And when you start meditating, especially some of you women, you get in touch with them and go on. And they'll give you things. You understand what I'm saying? They'll give you things. And they'll give you messages. Now. Huh? What'd you say? No. You meditate in the most comfortable thing you got. There is no special way that you got to. You see them sitting in the Indian position and all that stuff. You don't have to do that. You meditate in the most comfortable way. A chair, laying down, anything you can do to get comfortable where you are not noticing some type of discomfort. That's the way you meditate. What's that?
You mentioned the hours of the melanin production and foods that help to fortify the melanin production.
Well, some of the melanin is between the hours of 3 and 6. And then there's some at 12 o'clock. They say from 3 to 6 it shoots melatonin in it. At 12 o'clock it shoots serotonin in the daytime. Those are some, I don't know, you might have some other hours that correspond different.
Yeah. The hours of 11 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah, 11 and 4, yeah, that's right.
And that will kick in the immune system.
Yeah.
You have to be colored on the inside and white on the out. Eat colored food and wear white cotton next to your body.
Yeah, that's true too. That is true too. Yeah. What's that?
Are those hours AM or PM?
11 p.m. to 4 a.m.
That's some time. Well, if you just get it in, you get into some kind of thing at that time between them hours. What's that, sister?
Bobby, would you say again about the black woman as being the womb of the universe for the benefit of the women that came in and didn't hear that? We need to hear that.
The God that you worship, yes, he is a man in that sense. But what you didn't know is he had a mother that created him. That is the triple blackness of space. That is not nothing, it is something. It is all in all. That's the real all in all. Her reflection in her manifestation is God. Blackness manifests light. You get the light from the blackness. Her manifestation manifests God. You see? Now, she's in the triple darkness of the northern hemisphere of Draco, in the constellation of Draco. She's so blue-black and so triple blackness, but she is something. She's a melanin also, triple blackness of space, that you can't see her. So she manifests herself by having her first son, who cuts her vagina open at the south gate, because the Sirius comes from the south, in the southern skies, and he is born. That first star, the number 8 star of 7 stars, is the star Sirius, is your primordial God that you have been worshiping, who is the first soul that walked in human form as God, but is now the manifestation of the brightest star in the universe, which is the central sun of the universe, which is God and which is heaven. But heaven has a mother. It says, I have traveled all over the world, and I have learned one thing. Earth is vanity, and heaven is vanity. And there's only one thing that matters in the world, and that is the love of a good black woman.
Yes, sir. Very good.
Good black woman, both down here and up there. And as I am old, and I found out that there's nothing in heaven that is such a big deal. After all of heaven and even after God, she is. Now, I don't care what religion you're in, I'm not going to apologize for it. Take it or leave it. That's just the way it is. There's higher things when you go into your religions. Nobody ever said that there was going to be higher levels of your own religion, whatever it might be, that's going to manifest that you're not going to be able to take. But take it or leave it. Because I don't care what religion you're in. That's man-made. And before that was you. It ain't about how religious you are, it's how spiritual you are. And the spirituality is your nature, and your nature is that of God. But the triple blackness of space and the womb of the universe is the true God of this universe that makes that God. And he's a grain of sand on a lonely beach compared to the great mother. It's just that we so much down here because he's everything. But that's telling you one thing. If that particular God has a mother and he's a grain of sand on a lonely beach, that means it shouldn't be too hard for you to rise up in your God, because it's not that much of a hard task. That takes it off the scooped up magnificent level that you can obtain. So that's some inspiration for you. What's that sister in your brother?
The people that will be accepted on a spaceship, they have to have a certain level of spiritual development. And second part, people that were seen on the spaceship, is this because they were highly developed? People, I suppose, had expired.
Well, at this point, I don't think if it was left up to all of us to have that much of spiritual development at this point late in history, I don't think none of us would be on this spaceship. Because we don't have that much time to do the things that it would take to get that much. But remember this, as a man and woman thinketh in his heart, so is he or she. So it's the ultimate thing is where your mind is. We can do all the other stuff. They say you can do all this stuff, and even if you meditate and all that, it might not make you spiritual. It's where your heart is and where your mind is. And how you accept the condition to be righteous. You already God. You born God. You already got the keys. You just got to remember. And then, once you remember that you are God, you got to accept the responsibility of being God. And to be God is to love. Not your enemy, because God kills his enemies. There's a whole papyrus called the destruction of mankind, on how Ra, the blue-black God, is going to kill the enemies of Ra. And the enemies of Osiris, the God of the perfect black. What is the enemy of black? The enemy of black is white. And he sends out his most furious warrior, the goddess segment, which is the Sphinx in the middle of the earth, and the goddess segment represents the number 19, and the number 19 represents the number of God, and the number of God represents the number of melanin. So they talk about you being the warriors. You see. So to love and understand that we all crazy. Right? So, but by the grace of God go I. And what you are doing is only what you agreed to do some other time before. It is your duty to do it. You agreed to come back and help your people. You had already been risen up and was on a spiritual level and was the gods. But you agreed to come back at this time to help your people. And what you are doing is only what you agreed to do some other time, so it is your duty. And if you fall off the path, you will perish. That's what they told me. So you have an obligation to seek liberation, even if it's in your mind. Say, I'm down with it. Quit all the buck dancing and bootlicking. And get out of this being so overwhelmed on what this white man got in his stores, in his car lots, and on the lots he stole from you, these houses, and all that material stuff. It don't mean nothing. What is the man to gain all of this and lose his soul? You see what I'm saying? You just got to be down in the heart. That's the first place to start. Because otherwise, when you get these problems, you get arrogant. Or you an old crazy nigga running around here, you lost. All of a sudden, we 2 days of knowledge, and now we point the finger. Love, that's the key. Okay, wait a minute, I got to talk this brother right here first.
2 questions.
Yeah.
Number 1, what's that around your neck? And number 2, when you meditate, is it best to be fasting? Or how do you do that?
Well, you know, sometimes you meditate, but you don't supposed to meditate for an hour after you eat.
Okay.
You know, an hour after you eat. And stuff, yeah, and all. This around my neck is the god Heru. Is the god Heru. Aiwass, who is this particular god, is the minister of Heru Pa Krat Ara Harapahudi, which is the form of the god Heru. Is the form of the god Heru. I'll leave it at that. At this particular point. I ain't gonna say no more.
You clear that up.
That's what this is, and I ain't gonna say no more. What's that, sister?
In the Holy Quran also, it mentions a lot of mentions in the Quran the creation of man. They say the creation of man over it is 19. Have you read that? In the Quran?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, it's in there.
Over it is 19.
Can you repeat that? Because I
I
don't remember this story.
She said in the Holy Quran, the creation of man.
Yeah, Allah says in the Holy Quran that over the creation of man, over it is 19.
Is 19. Over the creation of man is 19.
Right.
And 19 is also the number of chaos, which is the great works, and the ultimate manifestation of chaos. 19 in the great works is the word Laila Aleola, which means the ultimate feminine principle. It still goes back to that mother goddess.
Right.
Booyah! Okay.
And also, I have a question to ask. You had mentioned earlier about the angel Gabriel and when the prophet, when you said the prophet Ibn Abdullah, when
Muhammad, yes.
1400.
Yes.
So where did you say that the angel Gabriel took him on the ascension that he went?
It said that they took him, this is in Quran records. I got out of an out-of-print book that God, did the space being colonized the earth? This guy did some years doing some research. And he said, we can document it on the tape. That way you get the tape, that's the document.
Okay, so
It was in a book called, Did Spaceman Colonize Earth? Now, that's the book, that's the documentation. It says, in the Quran, in the Quran, it says no. In this connection, it is interesting to note that the Quran records that the Quran records, I'll be going so fast and stuff, I'll be this thing jumping and all, I'll be putting in words. The Quran records that the Archangel Gabriel came from the constellation of the Dog Star, and that Muhammad was reputed to have been taken to the 7th heaven Saturn by Gabriel on a flying white sea spaceship with 600 wings about 9597 AD. Now, let's break this down on Saturn. Saturn is known as ancient Satan to the white man. The reason why it's ancient Satan to the white man, because the alchemical or the chemical breakdown of Saturn is that of the same chemical breakdown of the great works, which is melanin. So it is called the black star or the dark planet, and they said that this Earth one time used to be in Saturn. Then this Earth fell, and what you're looking at with Saturn is actually the incubation hub of what, and the ring around it is another dimension on what the Earth used to be in. As the Earth accelerates back into the fourth dimension and on in, we're going back into the original housing planet of which the Earth used to be in, which is made up of melanin. And the only thing that can live in the atmosphere made up of melanin is that which has melanin. So that's the key, the mystery of Saturn. There's a book, an astronomical book called Saturn, A New Look at the Old Devil. There's esoteric keys in the devil, because the devil is the white man worries about is your God. And Saturn is the planetary representation of Sirius. Now, it states clearly, even in your Holy Quran, at the first beginning of the Surah of the Star, they show Gabriel coming in with, they say, 2 or 3 bows. Whatever it is, it's a depiction of him coming in a spaceship, which Muhammad said he was a blue-black man. And then, after the Quran, they asked him, well, who is this Aiwass supposed to have given you this book of law in 1904 to give you the extension? He said, well, I tell you that this particular Aiwass, who was in a human black body, was identical to the man who gave the Prophet Muhammad. That angel, he said, was identical to that angel that gave the Prophet Muhammad the Quran, which is one and the same. All the gods up there are one. So what's that? What's that?
Also, I wanted to mention, you talked about going into another dimension.
Yeah.
And women, there are some of us that are able to go to other dimensions while we get in this physical body.
Yes, women can do it. Men can do it too, but mostly women got the built-in thing. They say in the last days, 2 things will happen. The women will become more psychic. That means they can tap in more. Because what you call female intuition is actually psychic ability. And they say the man will become more intellectual or analytical. And what happens is the cosmic hierarchy gives him his ideas through thoughts. So your thoughts are not original to you. They say never be afraid to express a thought because you think you're the only one that thought of it. That's the Creator giving it to you. And watch your thoughts, because thoughts are things. And when you being the God of the earth and you powerful, you can think the wrong thing on a person and hurt that person. You see. So watch your thoughts, because thoughts are things. You see. Because up there, after so many levels, is thought process. What's that, brother?
I want to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You talked about the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but how does that, the teachings as it comes to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, how does that tie in generally and specifically to what you're talking about today?
I'll tell you what the people on Sirius told me. People on Sirius told me that right now, the Minister Farrakhan is halfway in between a point where he's chilled out to the point where he don't want to make no waves, and he's being cool and humble about it. They say, but after a while, he's going to have to come out, and he's going to have to come out with both barrels running. Because there's going to come a time where he's going to say, well, I've given you your chance. I showed you I can be humble, and I showed you that I can, you know, and then he's going to come out with both barrels running. So they say, don't worry about Farrakhan. He's going to do what he got to do. Basically. You see. That's what they told me. You know. That's what they also told me. Now, I got upset because they were telling me about what we've been trying to send. I was telling about all these genetic seeds opening up, and they said, we've been trying to do that. They said, but your people got such negative thoughts until it's hard to open them up with these blueprints in them. They say, so shoot, some of them might have to go down because every man and woman thinking, so is he. So if you're thinking like the white man, you're going to go out for the cycle. So I got upset, but they said, don't worry. They said, don't worry, they said, because it's going to be something on the earth plane that's going to be so miraculous until they're going to have to choose whether they're going to be down or not. So you're going to see something soon. it's going to be so miraculous, and it might precede the death of the European, because they said total elimination and total balance on the earth plane in 1994. That means they got to wipe out all cancerous products. Since he's a form of cancer, anything that chokes out the life of the earth, he killed it. He don't even kill the animals, he killed the people, he killed the dog on earth. So the cancer got to shake off, so don't worry about that. But they're saying, but then again, after he's gone, you will have about a year or two, or maybe a year to get your thing together. You see. So that's one thing he also said too. Okay, I'm gonna take you, and I'm gonna take her, and take you. Go a step up. Go ahead.
Well, you mentioned about the white people in the future, or starting right now, that they won't be able to come out in the sun.
Yeah.
And I just read in the paper the other day that about 2 white children,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they had, I think maybe some months before they came out in the sun, they began to turn and look like, you know, some kind of monster, because the sun was doing this to them.
Mm-hmm.
And now they cannot come out in the sun today. They have to come out at night and go in swings, and I want to know, is this going to
Enhance?
yeah, you know, to throughout the whole white race on the entire planet, you know?
If they don't have that melanin, and you go look in your book of Revelation, they say the only except the ones who got the seal. The seal. The seal is Solomon's seal, and the Solomon's seal is, oh yeah, I am black in color. And the Solomon's seal, the original Solomon's seal, not the root, but the original Solomon's seal is the seal, boom, the black dot, which is the real mark of the beast. It's just his beast. What's that?
Stand up, please.
Okay, what's that? Yeah.
Told us that somewhere time we were going to come outside at night. This is where white people making laws with 24 hours and stores 24 hours. And it'll be a certain time we have to stay in because they come out at night. And watch yourself walk by manholes because we'll live in the manholes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to start working at night. They're gonna have to start doing everything at night. They're gonna have to become a total night people because they are the real vampires. Now, they are the real vampires. And this is serious. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. This is talking about something they need to go. That's why Alice Crawley recommended Bram Stoker's Dracula for them because they are the real vampires. You need to get a book called Psychic Self-Defense by Dion Fortune. Why? Because the white people got you under psychic attack. And they're going to start doing more psychic attack. And you need to get psychic self-defense to learn how to ward off some of these things. And in this book, they talk about these non-human people. And they say the human people got 4 currents, not chakra, 4 currents. And the non-human got 1. And when you come in contact with the non-human, your 4 currents shut down to 1. That's why they look like you, and that's why you think everybody. Because you're not operating on your other 4 currents. You see, but those non-human people, they say, human body, which means it's white, but it's got the arm, 2 legs, and all this stuff, with no soul. In it, they talk about vampires, werewolves, and all that. They talk about these are people that live on the planet, and you know who people those are. And that stuff is coming from them.
Who's the author of that?
Author.
Yeah, huh? Dion Fortune, Psychic Self-Defense. What's that?
Say more about the
The money, the strip on the band is to detect that strip once they take the money out. The money was not backed by gold since the money has been backed by gold since 1975, I think, or whatever.
No, 65.
60 something, they took it off the gold standard, one of those.
65.
And so the money, it says on your money, it says this, they say this was a note of all legal tender, all debts for private, it's not even real money. So that means they got to take that off and they got to put it in the debit card, which is a national health care card. Because now you ain't got no money, and you can't eat, that's a national health risk. So that's the national health care card that Bill Clinton is talking about. Which once they take the money back, you'll be in the system or out of the system. Won't be no other thing. It'll be 2 kind of systems. Those who have and those who have not, and those who control it and stuff. But we want to take care of that before it happens, because I believe that we have suffered enough. And all this hell that they're talking about going through, I don't think that we should go through 2 hells again. I don't think it. We have been a victim of the New World Order since we got here. So all this whole stuff about the New World Order is, we got a New World Order. When those planets line up, May 5th, 2000, that's the New World Order. And May 5th, 2000, this is May 5th coming up. It's May 5th coming up. Now, what's that?
In the paper, they had an article about skin cancer.
Yeah.
You're studying skin cancer by inoculating people with
Inoculation is melanin.
That's what they're putting in?
Yeah, they're trying to, yeah. But it ain't working good and all. They got to get the real deal stuff. That's what the concentration camp is for. Also, too, they got a genetic strain of breast cancer where all women breast, every white woman in the family breast raw, but probably one out of the whole family. And that's a genetic strain, and that comes from also the sun rays too. That ain't the same breast cancer that we supposedly been getting. There's a breast cancer from a genetic strain, so they're getting their breasts are rotting off too. And they ain't having no babies in the whole 9 yards. All of that going on. And stuff, their ovaries and wombs and all that stuff ain't working. What's that on?
Brother Kimmy, would you pick out some comments about Billy Myers and Mr. Pallade?
They say they in contact with the Pleiades in the whole 9 yards. Well, come to find out that number one, they tell you about the Pleiades because they want to tell you the Pleiades is all this because they don't want to tell you about Sirius. In one of the Qurans, they went and took the part about the Lord of Sirius out and put the Pleiades because they know that the Lord of Sirius is black people. So the whole Pleiades, they talking about these Pleiadians and all that kind of stuff. They lying. Ain't nobody want no doggone mutant. And I want to ask you a question. If I'm going to come down here and get somebody and lift somebody up, I'm going to get the people with the juice, the original people. Why am I going to go to some doggone mutant that haven't learned how to live on this planet? That's a lot of propaganda lies. That's why I said The Other Tongues of the Flesh is one of the better books because it was written in the 50s. A lot of these books written in the New Ages for propaganda. And the government put out half of them to keep people confused. And all. And none of them ought to talk about Sirius. You know, I had to finish the stuff. I got plenty of stuff on Sirius, but I had to dig hard for it. And lie. I had to go in and even some stuff I had to take the Pleiades out and put Sirius there for it to make sense. Because I knew that they had taken Sirius out and put the Pleiades. You know. You see, and stuff. So, what's that?
Can you touch again on, you said something about not being able to sleep, the 3 days and 3 nights?
Yeah, you won't be able to sleep because the sun rays is enhancing the melanin. And the melanin is just like a cosmic juice. You'll be high on it. You know? You won't be able to sleep, you'll be so high and it'll feel so good. But you gotta get off the bullseye. And number one, don't go to no doctors and don't get no shots. There's nothing that you can't cure without vitamins. And if you notice, the people who get sick are the ones who stay in the doctor's office. There's nothing that you can't cure without vitamins. You see. So, get you some vitamin E, some vitamin C, get you some vitamin B complex, get you some L-lysine, get you some selenium, and to clean out your blood every now and then, get you some niacin. That's vitamin B, vitamin E, L-lysine. Get you some ginseng, because that turns the chakras. Don't get that stuff that they sell in the little store. Get the pills. Or some good stuff, that root and some stuff that you can get from the health food stores. That turns the chakras. That get them open up. Get you some ginseng. Get you some ginseng. And get you some, they got a good colon cleanser at, for $14, get you a good colon cleanser at, GNC, they got one. Don't get the bulk. There's a colon cleanser tablet, which is a herb. Get that one. Don't get that bulk, that psyllium. Get the colon cleanser tablet, and don't get no colon cleanser teas. Because no colon cleanser teas, because they done got 2-3 people that died from them. Get the natural herb. Colon cleanser, and clean out that colon. If you can get a colonic, get that too. And clean out that colon.
What suggestions do you have for those who you say there will be those that have and those that don't? For those that have, what suggestions do you have in regards to where or how?
Have what you mean on?
Their wealth. You say it's going to be 2 classes, those that have and those
I was just saying at the projection of what the white man wants. I say that at this time we don't need to even think about the New World Order. We need to fight against it. Mm-hmm. You see, you got too many people. So my whole thing is I don't believe it's going to happen because I believe that that's some stuff that they putting up. Number one, this whole Olympic thing is a silk screen to keep people looking into the future. Mm-hmm. The Atlanta Olympics was already decided in the 1940s they were going to have it in Atlanta. Why? Because somebody asked me about people. Atlanta is the new Atlantis. They got pyramids and temples and obelisks on all the buildings. That Syrian architecture is dealing with some stuff that they got out of Egypt where they built the temples and all. based on the actual rays and the astrological figure, astronomical figures of the star Sirius. And pyramids, obelisks, and temples is all through Atlanta, because that's the new Atlantis. And they got an article in the British Museum that talks about this Syriac architecture. And you align your buildings like that to try to make it like Egypt. And you can get the flow. So a lot of the people in Atlanta are catching this metaphysical flow and stuff like that and stuff. And white people too are using the pyramids to fight black people. And black people can use the same pyramids because energy is energy. But we're catching some of that stuff based on the pyramidal structures that's around. And they're in most new cities. Charlotte, North Carolina. When we say new cities, we're not talking about the older cities. Charlotte, North Carolina, Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville. Memphis, Tennessee got a big old pyramid, glass pyramid, that they built in Memphis, at Memphis State, and all, at Memphis State and all. So that's Syriac architecture also too. So, yeah, okay now, 2 more. What's that, sister? I don't know, it's got to be soon now, because I guess I made a good impression. Number one, the whole key is this. Number one, I'm only 32. That's still a baby. So what I'm saying is the knowledge that I'm giving you, I didn't study around the clock. A lot of this is spiritual. So don't look at me. Just look at the spirit. And look at the spirit, and this don't have anything to do with me. I got to give it all to the grace of God, because that's what's going down this way. You see, I do the research and all, but it's basically spirit. And basically, you know, things in us and things in you, the same thing, we all tapping in. You see, we all tapping in. What's that from?
2 movies, The Predators and The Terminator.
Well, the Predator, if you notice, he had dreadlocks. And he showed you the energy of what the black man can do. He can transform, he can do all kinds of stuff. And now the Terminator, let me tell you the movies to watch for some science. Terminator 1 and 2, drop science on the New World Order and the whole 9 yards. The Running Man, drop science. Okay. What's the other one he did? Total Recall. You have a total recall of what you used to be. Drop science. Planet of the Apes 1 and 2, all of the Planet of the Apes series, drop science. Get the movie The Handmaid's Tale. Came out in 1990. The Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale. Came out in 1990. That particular movie showed them putting black people on trucks and shipping them out of the country. Reason why we didn't do it, because a lot of times they did it when the credit was coming on. Black people be talking when the credit's coming on. Like the white man said, you said, hey, the white man can't jump. We said, black man can't shut up in the movie theater. Black people can't shut up in the movie theater. So, Handmaid's Tale is one. You know a movie I saw, they even dropping, there was a movie I saw the other day called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was dropping science. He came and said, you're the chosen one for your people, to help your people. The vampires came in and said, how you hanging around these people? These people are cattle, they sheep, they dead people. It was dropping science all through the doggone movie. Total Demolition Man. Straight up New World Order movie. Okay, Demolition Man, straight up New World Order movie. Abyss, Robocop, all that. They Live, straight up New World Order movie. John Carpenter, classic. Straight up New World Order movie. They Live. John Carpenter's They Live. Straight up New World Order movie. Get the Philadelphia Experiment 1, and now they got a Philadelphia Experiment 2 out. Get both of them. One of them is real, one of them is a little bit of fiction, but they drop in science.
Westworld.
Westworld, yes, one. Huh? Yeah, there's so many. Any of these science fiction things. Watch the X-Files. The X-Files was real government files and the UFOs and stuff that they released to teach their people. They had sightings on last year. That's one. What's that, brother?
Can you talk a little bit about black media communications in terms of getting access to those books? I think you folks have a talent in getting those hard to find out-of-print books that we aren't able to get as well.
Well, number one, you can go to your metaphysical bookstore. See, what's the metaphysical bookstore here?
Mayflower.
Mayflower. Go there. You see, because now the first thing you went to the shrine of the Black Madonna, that got you out of the niggerization of your mind. Now you're going into the mystery, so go where the white boys go, because they got the mystery in their stuff. Go to the metaphysical bookstores and check their stuff out. You can just call the black media. I used to have a card here. Hold on one minute. Let's do this here. You got the number? Yeah, black media.
They know the title is university.
Yeah. And so, you know, there's several places and stuff. So, you know, you can get some of those books in the whole 9 yard also. So, any other questions? What's that, brother?
Yeah, I heard the missing space probe that was sent out in space was really sent to circle Mars and study Cydonia.
Oh, yeah, you took that one thing. The Mothership took that.
Oh, that's what happened to it?
Yeah, a Mothership came out, a mile-long Mothership came out and scooped it up.
Do you think that now that they fixed the Hubble telescope, they'll try to...
Huh?
Do you think now that they fixed the Hubble telescope?
That Hubble telescope ain't no Hubble telescope. They ain't spend no $1 billion on no telescope. That's a fighting weapon. But it don't work though.
Right, it's a strategic...
But it don't work because you can't fight nothing. It can dematerialize, materialize, and thin air. So either way, they lit. Like Muhammad said, I just lay down and die. They say, get you a fork. And when you see a white person, stick them because they're already dead.
All right.
They're already dead. They left in 19,000 aliens per month. And they've abducted 30,000 aliens per month. Black white people per month. Yeah, what's the number? 1-800-874-1023. That's the black media. 1-800-874-1023. That's black media. And they have all my tapes, but you're going to be dealing through this system instead of this network to get my stuff.
My number, 864-1167.
1167.
Eternal Production.
Eternal Production. Yeah, what's that? Go ahead.
Years ago.
Well, first of all, I want to say to everybody, I want everybody to give Sister Elaine a hand for having me. And the whole 9 yards, and I will be back. Now, what's that?
Years ago, when I was pregnant with my daughter, about 1969, 70, I had this dream that I never forgot of this spaceship. I really couldn't see it, but I remember it had like a red light, but I was like guiding people to the spaceship.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a password. People had to know the password at the time. They had to say aloud or something. I just remember vaguely. It was aloud, but I was helping people.
Well, what that was that wasn't a dream. That was an actual thing that you went into the future. And so what that is telling you that you need to now start doing things and turn over your life into getting down with all of this, because that means that you are playing a key role and you're going to be one of the people that's going to help your people do that thing. But all of you going to be doing it. It's just that she's one of the things that's amongst you that's being weakest on what you got to do. So that's what's happening. What's that, brother?
Yeah, I remember when I was a little boy, right? I had these dreams. They would always recur, like I was floating up over something. You know?
Yeah.
Danger was coming. I'd always be floating around. And I'd wake up and I'd go back, still trying to get back to that same, because it was real shooting feeling for me, you know? I've only had that one time since I've been grown. So
well, number one, that is also, you know, you leave your body when you sleep because your dreams are real dreams. You astro traveling, and also too, you can leave your body in the whole 9 yards. I got a sister that live in Tennessee. This particular sister, this is one of the sisters that's in the city. That sister, I'll be on the bed in my drawers, and she'll come say, you sit in your drawers, and she'll be on the telephone in Tennessee talking to me. She say, you got a book on the bed right here, you got some books on the floor right here, you got a picture on the wall, and she ain't never been in my house. So you got on some red drawers. Yeah? So you got people do that, right? The sisters is bad. The sisters is hooked up.
Paris. This is my brother, Glenn. Glenn is from Paris.
It is.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah.
You can see the scroll of like information in these figures. When I read it, and I heard it say it, and I read it, like 24 movies, because I had that same experience.
That is the Akashic records. In your mind, you just tell you this, in your mind there's Akashic records that you can tap into. That's why you good with numbers, because the numbers are the breakdown of the universe. That's how we started the lottery in New York, because we were good with numbers until Dutch shows took it over. And that's how you got your lottery, with the breakdown of the universe. So now what they do is, black people play the week lottery. They run this ticket every day. That's how they do it in Atlanta now. The white people come in on the big weekend things and the big stuff and win the money. But on the weekdays, they play the lottery, and this is what they do on these lotteries, how they rip you off. On them lotteries, they know that black people got the breakdown of the universe because they got the melanin and they got their Akashic records. Akashic records is a library that you can go and study in the universe. That's what the Akashic records is. That's what you had access to before you had to build the libraries on Egypt. And what you built on Egypt was what you get from the Akashic records. That's all that is. So everything that they burned up in the library at Alexandria was never burned up. That was actually, it's on another realm now. So now they understand, now they do this in now. They know if a certain amount of black people play the same number, they say, oh, okay, that number gonna hit today because black people get it. Oh, yeah. So what they do is they got these balls. And those balls will come up, group the first number that the black people group, and then they weight down that other ball. Because they can punch a computer and tell what the number is, and they can tell so many numbers, and in what section in the black community, because they got all sections out, they'll weight down one of the balls and it'll come up once like that. So black people keep playing these things, they win. Now when I talk about this Aiwass 418, every time I talk about him in a lecture, he hit within the week or the next week. Ooh. I did 2 lectures in Aiwass. Aiwass is the angelic host and the being that is with me now. He's also Thunderdog, and his number is the number 418, and the number 418 is the number of melanin. All right. And the number of the great words and stuff. Now, every time I talk about Aiwass, he hit. One brother came and handed me $50, and I hit the lottery yesterday off your head. So, so let me know that the powers be and all. But I enjoyed it. Okay, remember, what's that, sister?
I have great concern over our young people today.
What you say?
I said I have great concern over the young people today and the way that they're acting. What is the correlation here? What can we do?
The young people ain't the one in trouble. Them young people is ready to throw down. They are, yeah. If you Negroes in here, just pass the people. Don't worry about them. Okay, they're already down. We all down. But when it comes time to throw down, they ready. Yeah. They're ready to go. So what you're seeing is actually, and these babies is coming, they even better. They are decoded to kill. So don't worry about the young people. Yeah, they're down right now. They're going to keep on dying. But another thing too, I want to say this too. I got to get the number. Another thing I want to say this too. I asked the white people what they do about the New World Order. They say, no one they take it and run it out the bank, because when they had to run on the bank, they can still hoard some of that money. But once you got it in the bank, and the bank charge all these fees, and I don't give you no loans, but the hell you got it in there for? Take the money out of the bank, leave it, put it right there in your house. So what? But I'm trying to say this, take it out of the bank. But number one, they say this, we take the money out of the bank and we buying your guns. And guess what? You Negroes are getting your guns, the toys are us. The only reason why they have put a police state in the first place is because you got guns. And once you give your guns, the toys are us. Give your guns to the doggone Janet Jackson concert, they go there. They're going to put you in, what you call it. What's that, bro?
I heard there's a National Guard army in every major inner city in this country right now.
That's true, too. But also, too, we got our army, and you got brothers and sisters from the subterranean world of Syrians walk around there, blue black brothers. They look just like you and I, and they call them the angels, or whatever, or the gods, or the angels that they call them, or the scientists. They're on point right now, so we got our force in play too. But you are right. And they've already got the concentration camps going, because they got one right there, they open in St. Petersburg, Florida, under the skies of a doggone prison. All these doggone prisons they got is concentration camps. You see?
Plantation.
And all, right, and all this type of stuff. So things go, what's that?
The question that I raised earlier about what you had said about those that have and those that don't, it was regarding the money. Because you're talking about the scripture, I was aware of the scripture.
Yeah.
And you're saying don't put it in the bank. So what I'm saying is, and I don't want to have the card, so what do I do with it?
Well, the first thing the money gonna go out. The first thing I suggest is to buy enough stuff that the kind of things that you need that can be items that you can have when the money is gone.
Useful things.
Put the little bit of material things you can get for what it's worth, you buy that up now. Number two, I'm going to tell you another thing too. Y'all crazy for paying these crackers or something on a credit card because you think you're going to have bad credit. The credit is going to, if you run that dog on credit card with limit right now and close the card up. Go there right now and go to the shop and start shopping because they can't throw you in jail for credit or no credit card. So run it up to the limit. Everybody, let me get my hand on a credit card.
All right.
Run the credit cards up to the limit. Ain't no such thing as I'm going to have good credit, but the credit and all that stuff get ready to fall. So run the things up and buy all this material stuff. You buy some stuff that you can use and some stuff that you will have access to. If you keep baking your money, when it's gone, I don't give a damn, you got a PhD. You're going to be just like Lil Willie in the project. Both of y'all going to be broke. You just going to have on a leftover suit in your hand. You know. And that's the beautiful thing about it. You're going to be gone with your brothers and sisters that despise whether you like it or not. Because when they get rid of the money, that's the only thing that's keeping you from the brothers and sisters in the project that's catching hell. Right. And once the money is gone, that neutralizes you and that brings you back as one. Just like in slavery. You all had a job and you all was poor, but you all was together. And all that kind of stuff. But
decide they want to buy like a new car.
Buy it!
And then they call in all the money and all this stuff.
Buy the car now! Once they call in all the doggone money, who cares? Buy the car!
So once you roll these people after they call in the money?
Give them the car back and they're going to buy the car now! But I'm going to ask you something, check this out. There's a law that they can't put you in jail for owning a car and you can't pay for it. That's why they got to get the repo man, because the law man by law can't go and get it from your house. That's why they got to sneak with the repo man at night. Because the law man, because they're not prohibited by law, they have to go steal a car. That's right. Yep. They're not prohibited by law to do anything on a debt. It's a debt-free country. You can't put people in jail for bad credit. Otherwise, every American would be in jail. White people. Because white people, that's all they live off is bad credit and credit. So run these credit cards up. Another thing I'm going to tell you is too. I got to say this before I go. Is the camera still running?
Yes.
If you sincere and you know what time it is, really test the spirit. Get out of them doggone churches.
Hey, that's right.
And get out of them Orthodox Muslim mosques, but they do the same thing. If you're going to go somewhere, it's better be liberation. But let me tell you about them churches. Number one, you can't go to hell, because the hell they talking about down here is your hell. And if the sun is 93 million miles away from the earth, and the hell's supposed to be 9 times hotter than the sun, and if the sun comes into the earth 1 million miles into 92 million miles, the earth will burn up. How in the hell are they going to have a hell down a couple of thousand miles down? It's 9 times hotter than the sun. That's right. The hell concept came from the Egyptian Book of Gates that was added into the Holy Torah 100 years before the birth of the historical Christ. And it ain't got a doggone thing to do with no hell up under the ground, no devil with no pitchfork. It's talking about states of consciousness, and you are the embodiment of that hell.
That's right.
So, number one is this. There is, in every worst part of America where black people live, there is at least 100 doggone churches on every block. Your church is supposed to reflect your community. If your community is going to hell and is rotten, that means that your church is none other but the sustainer of that hell. Your church is a satanic hub because it is the white man's satanic hub. I know what I'm talking about because every time I go speak in places, I catch the spirit. Every time I go into the Christian church, I can't catch the spirit. That's because instead of your people are in hell and they're locked in hell in them doggone churches. And the preacher don't know no more about God than Mickey Mouse. He was targeted by the white man, and the white man told him what it was, and he is worshiping the white man. If he's a real preacher and supposed to be doing real spiritual work 10 years down the road, he's not supposed to have a person sitting in there because they would have graduated and gone on to higher level. But how can you go and get some? That is not spirituality, that is religious ceremony, and it ain't got nothing to do with the spirituality of God. And that is nothing. The only reason you're in there is because of complete guilt. You feel bad because you done partied and drunk all night. You say, I never go to church to save my soul. And I want to ask you this question also, too, about saving your soul. If I go up before God, and God says, Bobby, I'm going to you're going down because you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. I said, wait, guess what? I can't be chastised for that. He said, why? I said, number one, I stand before you in the vessel of an original man. But when those things I did, I was out of my mind. I had cultural amnesia, and I didn't know what I was a dead person. So therefore, I cannot be chastised for something dead. The whole retribution thing that you are scared of is talking about the white man, ain't even talking about you. They're talking about you, and the one thing they're telling the white man gonna get in, they're telling you gonna rise. So ain't no hell, and ain't no doggone judgment in that honor of that thing. The only doggone thing you can get a shortcoming is if you fail to get what is coming down the pipes for you, which is good. But they say rejoice. But I'm making a pledge that we're going to try to save all our people, even the ones that's messing up.
That's right. That's right.
We're going to send them all the way. But one of the things like I'm saying also too, how is it that I got to come to you and speak for 5 hours and I still got to come back? And I speak and give you all of this, but yet you're going to catch the Holy Ghost and the preacher's going to stand up for you for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. 10 of those minutes, he's going to give you some little scripture, and the other damn 10 minutes, he's going to sit up and start hollering. What the devil is that? I want to ask you another question about this, too. If this is the land of the beast, and they don't put the real thing on TV, the TV is there to keep you in ignorance. If you got cable, turn on your TV, and every other station you got a preacher on there. That is all to let you know that the doggone religion is keeping you in slavery. If you're really sincere about your liberation, don't go back to these churches. That's a satanic hub, but that's the white man's satanic hub.
Amen.
Yes, those churches spiritually saying you can go and crazy out of slavery when they robbed your mind. But what saved you in the early part, if you keep taking the snake venom, you would have to have an antidote later to cure the snake venom, which initially killed you in the first place. Now that church is outlived its purpose, and now it is your poison. Get out of the church. And get out of any mosque that is not telling you to liberate yourself and go within and rise up the God in you. Now, if you want to get the videotapes, you need to get for her and all of those tapes down and all. And I would like to say that I enjoyed today. And you got to send me, you got to send me this video. This is a smoker. You got to send me this by the next week. This is a smoker. You know, and the reason why I say that is I'm not trying to be arrogant or nothing like that. But what I'm trying to say is what took place is how much the Spirit took me and I was able to deliver to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? Because it ain't me. That's what happens when we are in the spiritual abode. Number two, I'll end with this with some assurity. And I'll say this. The wings that they put on my chest is on top of the ships. That's what I went down there for. So now, if you still don't want to believe it, number one, you follow nobody but yourself. But if you can see me up here hooked up to the max, and that means, and if I'm standing here and I'm no different than you, that means that you all are all hooked up too. And the more you believe in yourself, the more juice you got. You see what I'm saying? What you need to do for protection is start believing in the interplanetary brotherhood, and we'll say the name, we'll say that you are now official members of the Black Right, or the Great White Brotherhood, of the Order of Melchizedek is his name, Aiwass is his name, Thunderdog is his name, Hemmitt is his name, and get the tape and find out these things, because now you are part of that extraterrestrial confederation of star systems that's going to take back your planet and put you back as the supreme ruler of the universe, which is long overdue. So with that in mind, I'd like to say I enjoyed it. Assalamu alaikum. Hotel. A leg of lamb to you too.
A leg of lamb.
Shalom, shalom. Peace. All right. I want you to stand. I want you to say this chant. You say, I set up, repeat after me. I set up a ladder to the gods. But I am one of them. I holler like a goose loose until they hear my prayer.
I'll let it loose until they hear my prayer.
And they report it to Sirius.
And they report it to Sirius.
The dog star.
The dog star.
Thank you.
I was gonna go into the gods, but don't worry about it. The dog star, which is none other than the God force, who has a mother, a supreme being, and the microcosmic mother of this universe, which is the earthling, is the black woman. All praise to you, our Lord.